we getting out to the people. Y'all had your basketball today. Y'all had a lot of good football today. Hopefully you guys ate well. Hopefully everybody saw their families. I don't know. We're gonna see how this is gonna go, man. Everybody might be asleep. They might be busy. This might be a very quiet YouTube. But for those who didn't have a lot of family, just wanted some time to sit back, smoke their best cigar, EKB is gonna be right here. It's gonna be right here ready for y'all. I am here for the people. So hopefully the notice is out there. Hopefully everybody can see that the Vintage Cigar is live and direct from somewhere in Nagasaki. Somewhere here for the people. Thanks to whoever hit that like button. Shouts out to everybody. I hope you had a great holiday. I hope you ate well. Hope you had a good time with the family. Hope everything is all love, and I hope you're smoking your best cigar right now. Hound dog. What up, dog? Yeah, the big dog in here first, man. What's up, brother? I hope y'all ate well, man. I saw you had the marshmallows on the yams, though. I'm a little bit disappointed in that, man, but I hope you ate well. Yo, happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I'll be getting started, man. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there, you know. I want to give a couple shout outs first. What up, though? What up, everybody? If you know it's in the building. Sam is in the building. We got the big dog, hound dog in the building, too. Thanks to everybody who hit that like button. I want to give a couple shout outs. I want to give a shout out to all the indigenous people from the New World, whether it's from the South, from the North, whether you Sioux, Creek, Iroquois, Blackfoot, whatever it may be, whatever your heritage is, shouts out to you. Many blessings and thanks to your heritage, to your family, and I hope everything went well. I want to give a shout out to Cigar Head Fred, man. Just had a good conversation with that brother, and it's been a while since we talked, man. So it was kind of good to actually have a conversation with him, man. Hopefully he'll be a part of the new wave soon, that we could just have a real good sit down and talk with someone who was one of the new OGs that was around the block, man. I hope we'll be seeing a lot of Cigar Head Fred soon. So that's good. All right. Since we here, it's the holiday. It's time to kick back, smoke a really good cigar. I'm gonna start bringing in the holiday, man. I'm doing the Still Will Starter Day. This the year 22. I actually love this cigar, man. I actually really like this cigar. Not because it's Dunbarton, not because of that. It's a flavorful cigar, man. And when you're in a good mood, it's a good way to start. Y'all are here joking about pepper sensitivity. Hey, with the Still Well Star, y'all ain't got to worry about that, man. You ain't got to worry about it with this cigar, man. This is a very flavorful, aromatic, delicious cigar. So let's get this cut up and get it started. Y'all watch some good football, man. Y'all watch some good basketball. What y'all do when y'all was kicking it with the fam, man? What are y'all smoking tonight? Let me know what's going on. Let me know what's cracking. I'm trying to see what's happening with my peoples out there in holiday land. Y'all know I'm in the future, so shouts out to everybody that hit that like button. Shouts out to everybody that's joined in. So on the vintage side here in Japan, it was kind of cool to see everybody kind of getting into the spirit, getting into, you know, the holidays and getting into all that kind of good stuff. We had buffet. So what we did, we went to this military area that's right behind me right here. Everybody sat in there. We got a buffet. Only paid like $70 for the whole family. Everybody get in there. I got to tell you though, I got to be honest. The dressing or stuffing. What do y'all call it? Dressing or stuffing? Which side are y'all on? Dressing or stuffing? The stuffing that I had was some of the worst stuffing that I ever had in my life. I got to be honest with y'all. That shit was absolutely disgusting. It tastes like fucking cardboard and sawdust. Shit was nasty. But it is what it is, man. But we ate well. We got the turkey. The turkey is a side dish. Don't let anybody fool you, man. Turkey is not the main course. Stuffing, word up. Shouts out to you for being on the stuffing. If you know, said it's dressing. All right. G, what up, homie? Happy Thanksgiving, man. Hope your Thanksgiving went well. Man, it's good to see y'all, man. It's good to see y'all. Sam said his dinner was great tonight. That's what's up. That's what's up. So we actually after we did that, we had that during the day, man, because the room filled up so fast with so many people. I mean, there's so many people on this base. Everybody's trying to get together and eat, and it's especially if you like living out of a hotel, if you're living on the base, you ain't got a lot of family or people eating on ships and stuff like that. You know, to get everybody in one place in a galley like that, people fill up real fast. So that was kind of cool. And then at the end of the night, I don't know if you guys are familiar with yakiniku. My favorite yakiniku spot is yakiniku means grilled niku meat, grilled meat, where they grill the meat on the fire. You grill the meat yourself on the fire, and you got 90 minutes to eat as much as you want out here. That's one of my favorite things to do. It's a spot in Japan called Yakiniku King, and it is the king of yakiniku for real. So we ate until our hearts was content yesterday. So today, went in the gym, shot some ball, did some suicides, ran a couple sprints and whatnot, man. Ate, got all that mashed potatoes. Yo, I did not have any mac and cheese this year. That's one thing I was missing about being at home, man. I ain't have any mac and cheese. So I don't know about y'all. Did y'all get some really banging ass mac and cheese? I ain't talking about that Velveeta shit. Y'all eat that Velveeta bullshit? Or y'all like eating real mac? Happy Thanksgiving. Delbo is in the place. What up, Del? Said they would have spared the clock up on him. Yo, when I'm telling you, for real, yeah, you can see sometimes like when we order in there, they looking at us like, yo, how much are these people gonna eat, man? Yo, it's Wagyu beef. You get pork belly, then you get pork secreto. Uh, they just got like all these different cuts. They got ribeye cuts and all that kind of, and you can just order, and you can just, you want it to keep coming, it'll keep coming. You can fill your whole table up with food, man. I'm telling you, yakiniku is the thing. They need to get like a real yakiniku spot in America, yo. We would go off, but they not gonna like waste that kind of money. You know how Americans eat. Mac and cheese was great tonight. All right, who was doing the cooking? Where my cooks at? Y'all know I was a cook at one point in time, so that was like a pride and joy thing, man. When all the elders and all the aunties, the grandmothers got old, it was one of those things where it was a big deal for me to be able to go into the kitchen and help cook and actually, be a big part of that, man, and start making food. Said his sister was cooking. That's what's up, man. Shouts out to your sister for getting busy, man. It's a new generation of cooks. Big mama ain't always gonna be able to be in the kitchen, man. I had to learn that the hard way. When we lost my auntie, man, and when I lost my grandmother, man, it changed everything about the holidays, man. It took some time for us to kind of get the family back centered again, man. I came from a southern background, but the grandma was the matriarch, and she was the bridge to all the cousins and everybody, all the aunties, uncles, and coming in. And when Grandma Clarine wasn't there, man, it wasn't the same no more, man. I'm still heartbroken over that. That was my lady, man. But my mom can cook. All my aunties get busy. We make this sweet tea with all the, that was so much sugar in it. It was like syrup. Man, it's kind of plugged, man. What's going on? That drawer kind of tight, yo. I'm not used to that. What else we got, man? He said when he makes it, it's called cheese and macaroni. I use 7 to 11 different cheeses. Yeah, we up there too. Yeah. Some good Gouda, some Gruyere. Got to have 2 kinds of cheddar. We always use the sharp cheddar and a medium cheddar. What else did we use? That smoked Gouda was money, man. I don't know if you ever use smoked Gouda in your mac and cheese, but I swear it would change everything. And we use a Mexican cheese too. Like that queso. Give it a little bit of a bite. You know what I mean? Damn, man. This drawer tight as hell, yo. I can't get shit out of here. Oh Oh, you watching the San Francisco and the Seahawks game? The last that I saw of that, man, when I was leaving out of the gym, San Francisco was whooping that ass. Is that still the case? I can't really tell what's going on right now. Smoke Gouda, yes sir. What up, man? My man John up in here, Cigar Alchemist, man. Man, I'm so happy to see y'all. Like I got my holiday cheer going right now, man. I'm in a real good mood, and life is good. I didn't really get to see what was happening with the football and basketball games, man. I've been focused on the kids all morning today, man. My wife, you know, I don't know if I mentioned to y'all, she's in retail right now, so it's Black Friday for us. That's gonna be, you know, the case for y'all. 31-13, San Francisco, still whooping that ass for sure. So my wife is in retail, so she woke up at 4 o'clock this morning after we went and got yakiniku and sat down and ate ourselves into a stupor. We had to drive back. Man, she went to bed early, man. She woke up at 4 this morning, and what is it, like, I don't know, probably like 1 o'clock in the afternoon now, so she got a few more hours to work, man. She getting killed Black Friday style. So it was just me and the kids today, man. I taught the kids how to dribble today, taught them how to make some shots, and they watched me work out, man. So that was like my family time today, man. I took them to the library. So I ain't get to watch the games. I was kind of disappointed because I saw that the Cowboys, shout out to the Cigar Alchemist, I saw the Cowboys got into the Washington Commanders this morning, man. They whooped that ass. That was kind of painful for me to see, man. But it is what it is. Shout out to all the Cowboy fans out there. I know it's a couple of y'all. Yo, I've never had a steel wheel starter that was this plugged, man. Yeah, I heard Debo was wrecking shop, man. I only caught glimpses of the games. He said we can beat the bad teams. Yo, I swear, man, Cigar Alchemist is the most honest Cowboy fan I know, man. I know a shit ton of Cowboy fans. Well, it's really crazy, man. It's like I will pop in on on Facebook or whatever just to kind of chime in and check in during the day. And all my Eagles fans is going off, man. I love to see, like, it's kind of like a 3-ring circus, man. With the Eagles fans just shitting on the Cowboy fans, and all my Washington people coming from VA in North Carolina, like, it's a whole lot of Washington fans out there. They quiet as shit, man. Ain't nobody saying shit today. It was a tough ass Thanksgiving for Washington fans, man. That's rough, yo. Let's see. I find it how crazy Black Friday is a commercial phenomenon across the world, even though Thanksgiving is an American holiday. Yeah, but I mean, look, everybody likes getting a deal. Everybody likes getting new shit. Everybody likes, you know, the excitement and the competition of being able to go out there. So they, you know, honestly, man, they couldn't care less about Thanksgiving as a holiday. Like, that shit don't even phase people out here. It don't move anybody out here. I wish I had a V cut, man. Maybe I could open this thing up with a V cut. But in all essence, you really can't be mad at the idea of just trying to catch a deal, man. People love electronics. Damn, this shit came off on its own too. Shit's weird today, yo. But that kind of shit happens, man. So that's not the weird thing. And plus, I'm on a military base, so it's still kind of the American culture is here, and everything is just globalized at this point right now. And one thing about Japan is they're not what they used to be. It's not like it used to be in Akibahara when, you know, it was like the tech capital of the world. But they still love technology out here. They still love cars. They still love computers and all that kind of shit. So Roger up in here, Working Man Cigars. What up, though? Good to see you, man. Shouts out to giving love to everybody, man. I'm glad y'all joined in. You say you wore a belt today? Hey, man, you gotta loosen that joint up, man. You're supposed to wear the sweats. You see, you know what I mean? You wear the sweats on the holiday, bro. That's what I did yesterday. I was walking around in the whole the North Face joint. You can't wear no belt on a day like this, man. You're supposed to go in, baby. Roger in the place to be, man. It was good talking to you, Roger, man. Thanks for coming on the show with us, man. That shit is everything. Man, it's really good with the way things have been going lately, man. Y'all know how things have been rocking with the vintage cigar, man. I ain't gonna get into no details because, you know, shit get kind of weird in this community. But it's really good to see a whole lot of people just kind of coming together and really being brothers of the leaf and really just trying to take the time to chill, have good conversations, talk over good cigars, you know, talk about family life, man. And what's really cool, and shouts out to everybody hit that like button too, man. I appreciate y'all. What's really cool, man, it's like with your whole thing being a working man, like I love seeing that. Coming from a trade myself and being in the culinary field, man, and to see the plumbers and to see like, you know, the guys that's, you know, woodwork and doing all that kind of stuff, people that's working with their hands and they take the time to kick back with a good cigar, making their own channels, man, and being creative and doing creative shit, man. The shit makes me happy, man. So I hope y'all in just as good of a mood as I am, man. Y'all probably like tripping off tryptophan right now, man. Probably tired of shit, but you know how that go. Texas in the building. What up, though? Look, oh, I'm so glad you brought up Chris Paul, man. Okay. Let me put this down here. I wish my cigar was better right now, man, because I really want to talk about this. All right. I was going on because, like y'all know, I hated Chris Paul for a long time. I could not stand Chris Paul, and even like from Wake Forest days, y'all know that. Like I can't stand Chris Paul. I've never liked Chris Paul as a basketball player. I know what his skill set is. I understand what his skill set is. I don't discount that. But this is one of the most annoying and dirty players that has ever been in the game. So when he came over to the Warriors, I had to give him the benefit of the doubt. And we needed somebody to stabilize our bench and to stabilize these young players to, you know, to play with focus. And I knew he wasn't the James Harden type, so I was happy to have him on my team. So he making assists, he organizing the game a little bit, everything was all well and good. But then these little moments of Chris Paul started to pop out, where you can kind of see where he was still kind of being an irritant. And that shit that he did the other night, it pissed me off. But it's hard for me to pick sides right now because the referee, Scott Foster, is a dirty motherfucker too. And these boys ain't never got along. I ain't never seen more beef between a referee and one player ever in my life. I've never seen but the crazy part about this thing with Scott Foster is he was cool with Tim Donaghy. For all my sports people that's in this chat right now, y'all know who Tim Donaghy is, right? Y'all know him as the referee. Y'all know what that whole shit is about. Before Tim Donaghy got caught in his scandal betting on games and throwing matches and all that kind of stuff, take a wild guess who he was on the phone with. You can guess it, Scott Foster. They were the best of friends. Now you cannot tell me that these motherfuckers ain't throwing these games. And somehow, Scott Foster has not been thrown out of the league. It is no way this dude should be refereeing in the league right now. He should be investigated and he should be out of here. And to see the way that he threw Chris Paul out of the game the other day, he threw somebody else out of the game last year in a very important game. It was one of the Raptors. What's the young kid name? He was a young basketball player. He's real good. Scotty Barnes threw Scotty Barnes out at one of the most inopportune times. You can see him throwing games. You can see him throwing games. And I watched this happen with my team the other day. But at the same time, it's like, Chris Paul, you know what this type of dude is. Why are you arguing with this man on the court? What the hell is that shit all about? That, like, we ain't got Draymond. We ain't got GP2. Steph tired. And you supposed to be the leader. And you arguing with your nemesis on the court right now. But the irony is, I can't be talking like that because ain't like I ain't just been in some bullshit myself recently. Sometimes the shit just piss you off. When you know you're dealing with somebody that's some foul ass motherfucker, you gotta speak your piece. So it is what it is. I get it, man. I'm glad you brought that shit up though. Let me see what else we got. He said his number one skill is bitching. That shit makes me happy, yo. Uh, you have the same birthday as Chris Paul. No wonder why you be talking crazy all the time, Texas. Because it must be something in the astrological signs that's making you wild out like that. I'm feeling bad for Wemby. Spurs suck so bad. I knew the Spurs was gonna suck though, man. It's just like it was really no way for them to really be good. I mean, they playing in the West. I gotta put this out, man. This ain't going nowhere. I got one little cigar. This is what we got. We're gonna have to do this at Mundo joint. I can't do this shit, man. I can't do it. But that being said, yo, with the Spurs, I kind of knew this was gonna be the case. Shouts out to everybody hit that like button because it's not like when LeBron came in the league. He's not playing in a terrible East Coast, division or conference. He playing in the West, and he playing with some of the best teams in the world. It's gonna be a learning curve, man. Plus, the Spurs are trying to what do you call it? They're trying to rebuild anyway, so they're trying to put people around them. It ain't no way they're gonna win, and you can tell that they're trying to tank. And it's all right, man. He's still learning. He's still putting up good numbers. He playing defense. He got a solid offense. Don't feel bad for Wemby. He'll be all right. He's still a superstar. He might not get that with the way Chet Holmgren playing right now, he might not get Rookie of the Year though. You might want to throw that shit out the window. Motherfucker. I swear to God, I know how to light a cigar, yo. Y'all see me do it a million times. Bullshit ass soft flame. All right. We got to go with the Mil Diaz this time. It is what it is. Okay, so John said though the Steel Wheel Stars get overpacked sometimes. This one was extremely overpacked, man. So I can't argue with you on that. Today's NBA is becoming unwatchable. I do not agree with that. I mean, look, one thing, Texas, that we got going on right now, I love boxing growing up. I came up in the era, that was right behind, Ali, Frazier, and all that kind of stuff, man. I came in with, during the Mike Tyson era, Deion Spinks, and then, grew up with the, Kasha Zoo, Zab Judah, Roberto Duran. Like, I grew up when boxing was like some really good shit. But boxing is hard to watch right now because the judges are horrible. And it's so much corruption in boxing that it's hard to watch. The NBA is corruption in the NBA. NFL, it's really bad with the corruption in the NFL right now, man. But you got to understand that sports betting and the money runs sports right now. It's not run by the athletes. We got some great athletes, man. Sometimes they let the games go, and you'll have some really good games. But even in football, not American football, but in soccer, like, they got the whole conspiracies going on with that. You got steroids, all through baseball, all through the Olympics. It is what it is, man. But you got to really kind of take it down to the base level and just look at the athletes that's getting busy right now, man. So you can't be mad at that, man. It just, you just got to watch the game for what it is. The skill set is greater than it's ever been before. just all the way around. There's so many good players that's out on the court at one time right now. You know, Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, Wemby, uh, DeMar DeRozan, Kawhi, Westbrook. Like you can just go down the line, man. There's so many good athletes out there, man. I'm not mad at the game at all. I just hate that betting and money has gotten in the way. Of course, Jordan is the GOAT, man. It is what it is. I'm sorry I got behind on the chat, man. Y'all are rolling today. That's what's up. Had the year 22 the other day, and it was rolled super tight. Hard to get a good draw. That's what I just had right there. Like that shit was crazy how tight that shit was rolled up, man. And I'm not doing the whole poker and all that kind of shit no more. If I can't smoke the cigar, I just sit it down. I'm done. I'll just move on to whatever's next. It is what it is. Chet Holmgren led the NBA, least NBA name ever. Chet Holmgren is it's a strange NBA name, but that boy hooping right now. He hooping. So hopefully he'll change that. But that just does not sound like an NBA name at all. I agree with you. You like Zion's game. I like Brandon Ingram. I love Brandon Ingram. He like baby KD. I love Brandon Ingram. Zion, I don't even think about Zion no more, man. Zion can't stay on the court to save his life. And when he is out there, like he do some spectacular shit every now and then, but then he'll disappear for some games. So I don't really think about Zion at all, really. I got two lighters, man. I got a flame joint and I got this big, man. And I fuck lighters, man. I always have a hard time with lighters. I'm thinking Wemby goes to the Lakers after his rookie contract. They're not getting Wemby, man, because they got AD, and there have been some reports coming out that Bronny is supposed to be going, like, you know, late in the first round to the Lakers, so they're not getting Wemby. And the Spurs ain't getting rid of that talent anyway. When Pop retires, they're gonna bring in somebody else to take over. They're gonna stop. They're gonna stop the rebuild, and they're gonna have everything they need around Wemby. Wemby gonna be their star. He ain't going nowhere right now. Let's see. Texas said I've been dry boxing lately, and it's been making my cigars taste better and burn. Yeah. That dry boxing, I can't even front, man. That dry boxing, it works to a degree. You know, I'm not of the mindset or of the school like you always got a dry box, but if you're getting your cigars down to, you know, closer to like 65, then in most cases they are gonna smoke a lot better. You know, I ain't mad at that. I'm having a hard time with these cigars today, man. I swear. So I just had the Matapa. I had the Claro, and I had the Maduro. Smoked beautifully. Those are like foundation. Like the way that cigar was smoking was amazing. It was really good. But I wasn't a big fan of it, man. How many of y'all have had the Matepa? I was just talking to Cigar Alchemist. I was talking to John about it the other day. He really loved the Maduro. And I got to say the Maduro was much better than the Claro. Rafi's in the building, man. What up, though? Good to see you. So I just kind of felt like me and Peter, the Cigar Collective, were talking about it, man. And I was saying like it was missing something. It was missing a step. And I felt like it wasn't what the Olmec was. Like it was like you expecting a lot more flavor to come out of this cigar. I'm trying to smoke a Mil Diaz. I don't know if it's because it's cold right now or what, but both of these cigars are packed like super tight, man. I don't know if y'all can see that, man. Like look at this. Both of these joints. It's like a brick. Yeah, so John said, look, I love the Matepa Maduro, but I'm hearing others saying that it's more hit or miss with them. And look, man, there was more spice to the Maduro, and the flavor was a little bit bolder, but they still felt like something was like missing. Like I think I was expecting like a little bit more of a flavor burst and more growth in the flavor profile, but they smoke well. And the reason that made me think about it is because the construction on both of those cigars were phenomenal. Like I didn't have an issue smoking that thing at all. The ash dropped off pretty quick, but who cares about that? That's not really that big of a deal, right? But it was just the fact It was just the fact that you would get like little hints that chocolate was gonna be in there, and you would get like little hints that cinnamon and spice was gonna be in there, and it just never developed the way you wanted it to. It was more on the coffee side, a little bit earthier than I expected. But I mean, it wasn't a bad cigar. I think it's just like, certain brands, when you get foundation, there's like this expectation you expect to get this certain level, and if you don't get it, it might be a little bit deflating. But when Peter said that joint was like a light beer, that was like the best analogy I heard for a cigar in a long time. Like, it's still beer. It's still a good cigar. It's just a light version. It's just every now and then, man, you want like a Bud Light line. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then you want a light Miller genuine draft or something like that. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. But it's not a bad cigar. It's a beautiful looking cigar. But what did Pick Jimmy say today? It was that it was Jerry the King Lawler on the front of it. That shit had me dying, yo. That's some funny ass shit. He said he just lit up an El Pupo by AJ Fernandez. I've never had that one, man. I hope that's a good cigar, man. I hope it treats you well. So that's what's up, man. I'm glad y'all smoking with me and hanging out with me. I'm having a hard time with these cigars tonight, though. Olmec is probably more complex for sure. I got dark bready notes on that. Yeah, that Olmec is a different thing, man. It's really in a league of its own as of right now from Foundation. That might be the best thing out of Foundation right now, and I love Foundation. And it's just that Matepa, like, I was excited to get it, and I was excited to smoke both of them. And it was kind of cool just to kind of sit back and chill and smoke both of the cigars, one not necessarily after the other. I smoked one day and then smoked the Maduro the next day. And it was kind of cool to kind of, still have the flavor profile fresh in my mind and get a good feel for the differences in the cigar. And it's crazy that, like, how much you can get that much of a difference from a wrapper. Like, when you're really doing a side-by-side comparison like that, it's really kind of impressive to see, like, how much a wrapper can change the whole thing of your cigar. You can tell the difference in the fermentation between the cigars. But if you're looking for a lighter smoke, if you're looking for a light beer of a smoke, that Matepa is gonna be pretty solid. It's just, I don't know, man. I think I was looking for something more full flavor. Yeah. Texas up in here, man. Come on, man. You know how it go. Uh, yo, bruh, it wasn't me. I was actually saying that it was, I was saying it was like Olmec Light, and when Peter said that shit was a light beer, bro, it's still fucking funny to me, man. It's because it's dead on. So yeah, it's like a Bud Light lime, man. Every now and then you want a Bud Light lime, man. It's not a bad thing. Like, from somebody that don't drink like that I don't drink beer. Every now and then, man. Give me a little squeeze and let me get some lime in that joint. You know what I mean? That shit's so good to me, man. So it's money. What else y'all smoking, man? What else we got going tonight? Matt said he got the La Roma de Cuba, Connecticut right now. Okay, I see. Like, I don't know. I guess after you eat and all that, man, I think that's a good way to go. That sounds like a really good smoke, man. I haven't had a La Roma in a minute, man. How's it tasting, man? You pretty good so far? All right, would you say it's the Chet Holmgren of cigars? I would say it's a Chet Holmgren, man. Well, maybe. Well, because I'm trying to make this one fit because that's funny. But because I guess you could say Chet Holmgren is kind of like Wemby Light, but Chet Holmgren might be playing a little bit better than Wemby right now, man. So I don't even know. I wouldn't call Chet Holmgren. He is kind of light though, so maybe that does work. John, you funny as fuck, boy. Ah, that's a good question, Roger. So he was asking John, did he like the Matepa over the Olmec? That's a good question. I kind of want to hear what John got to say about that myself. Let's see what we got. He said Ohio State versus Michigan this weekend. Oh yeah, that's a good rivalry right there. That's up there with my Duke and Tar Heels. That's a huge rivalry right there. Who you got, Sam? Who you going with on that? So for me, that's a tough one for me because I'm not connected to either school at all, right? But my my wife, her uncles are Sooners. You know, both of her they're twin brothers, and she got another one of her family members that went there too. Okay, so you pulling for Ohio. That's what's up. So I got ties with that, but I also came up in the '90s, man, and so Michigan got a soft spot for me because of the Fab Five, and that football era in the '90s when Michigan was just like killing them. So I really watched that game just for the rivalry itself. I don't really pick a side with that one, man. I'm Tar Heels with my rivalry, but with that one, man, I just hope for a good game, man. So shout out. Okay, you got the Oscar and the Bosphorus from G. Yo, I almost grabbed that cigar because I was trying to find a short cigar to go after the Stillwell Star, and I almost grabbed that same cigar, man. And I don't know, man. I should have done it because look at this, man. This thing ain't even smoking. It's doing better than that fucking Stillwell Star, though. Like you said, the La Aroma is solid. Uh, Not mind blowing, but it's easy going, tasty, and that's kind of the way it needs to be right now, man. After you ate good, just kind of kick back and get something you can enjoy with not being too strong. Ain't no pepper in there, so you'll be all right. Let's see. Alchemist said, Roger, I like both for different reasons. Olmec is a richer, more complex experience, without a doubt. The Metepa Maduro has certain flavors I really enjoyed, though. Just would depend on the mood I'm in, to be honest. Facts. Totally get that. Yeah, man, we got the homies in the chat right now, man. I'm glad y'all kicking it with me for a minute, man. I needed to kind of take a break, kind of chill. I knew y'all would be finishing up y'all dinners and cleaning up. I don't know, like, I don't know if y'all like Southern folk, man. My family, man, it take us so long for us to eat that it'd be like 8, 9 o'clock at night before we even start eating. And then when my grandfather was alive, man, my grandfather was an old, Southern Baptist cat, so he would do the prayers. My grandfather would start praying, man, and I swear that it would be like a 10-minute prayer. And we would be smacking each other. Me and my cousins would be smacking each other. We were getting in trouble for laughing while my grandfather, even when we got grown up, man, before he passed away, we were still laughing. We were like, man, yo, granddad about to do this prayer, man. We ain't never gonna eat, man. Everybody holding hands. You be holding hands with your family around the table while he praying, and your hands be getting all sweaty and whatnot. I don't know if y'all ever experienced that, man. All my white friends, yo, they would be done eating by like 6 o'clock. Everybody cleaning up and they watching the football game and shit like that. And we just getting started. We always late, man. Man. All right, Texas back in the building. I don't know, but I just felt like, man, kicking it with y'all, man, after everybody had their food, everybody watched their games and all that. I'm glad y'all came to kick it with me. All right, so Alchemist said he had it in Robusto. Yeah, I had both of them. Both of the cigars I had were the Robustos, man. And I got them because, I wouldn't be outside very long. I could just come out here, sit close to where I'm sitting right now, just have a quick smoke and enjoy, a cigar. And I really wanted to see what the Metapa was about, man. I wanted to see, like, how good that cigar was going to be. So I felt like that having the Robusto was the best move right there. I don't know, man. Maybe it's going to be different, man. Maybe I'll try it in the Toro. We'll see what happens. Yeah, for sure, Sam. It's going to be a damn good game, yo. Yeah, Bosphorus is money. I'm catching up with y'all, man. Shouts out to everybody that hit that like button, man. Thank y'all for joining in with me, man. Working Man said he just finished the Sin Compromiso. And since the live started, I got to light up another. Dude, I should have got that Sin Compromiso. But the way I was thinking, if I grabbed the Stillwell Star, it was going to be nice and aromatic. I wouldn't get my clothes all smoky and whatnot. And it would be nice and flavorful. So I put the Sin Compromiso back, and I put the Bosphorus back, and I got this Mil Diaz because it's kind of Cuban-esque and kind of light. I fucked up, man. I didn't make a good choice today. So I hope you're enjoying that, brother. That Sin Compromiso is money. He said, I'm going to light up the Regius that Mike sent me. Which Regius you got, Roger, which one is that, man? I fuck with Regius, yo. I ain't smoked one in a minute, but I fuck with them heavy, man. All right, John, thank you for joining in, bro. That tryptophan about to catch up with you. Get your rest, man. Uh, oh, okay, you got the perfecto joint. Okay, bet. You smoking good. All right, smoke your best cigars. That's what we doing right now. All right, so Texas said we got another week here in Texas having to hear about the Cowboys Super Bowl. Because you know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. They had a good game against the Commanders, and they're going to be feeling themselves. And then as soon as the playoffs start, Dak going to throw like 3 interceptions. Y'all, like, it happens every year. It happens every year. If it ain't going to be Dak, it's going to be Tony Romo. So, like, we know what's happening, man. Man, all right, oh, G, that's a great question. That's a great question. So G asked, should the Bulls trade Zach LaVine? Sorry about spitting on camera. I hate doing that shit. But, man, that's a tough one, man. Like, here's the thing about the Bulls, man. When they got Zach and DeMar DeRozan, I thought that was going to be, they got Caruso and they had Zoe. That team was supposed to be the team to beat. I just thought on paper that was going to be a dangerous team. I think we talked about this before, right? But at this point, it's not working. For whatever reason, that team can't gel and they can't get along. They got the perfect setup. They should be like the Bulls and the Clippers should be the 2 best teams in the league right now, and they're not. And this all goes to show you like how much chemistry matters in basketball. And for whatever reason, they don't have a real point guard. That team can't gel. So if he's gonna get to the point where the way he's playing right now, you can tell that he's not trying as hard as he can. Zach can go out there. I know he's not the most consistent player, but he can go out there and give you 40. He can go out there and give you 30. He can go out there and get mad rebounds, but he just got those games where he just don't want to play, and you can just see he ain't happy. So if he ain't happy, man, trade him. Get him to another team. And I could be selfish right now and say, like, oh, maybe he should go to the Warriors, but I don't even think he would fit there. I don't think he would be a good fit, man. We need a big man, but I just don't know where he's going to go. I've been hearing rumors about where they might trade him to, but at this point, man, if it ain't working, I just don't know. Like, as much as I love DeRozan, I don't know what DeRozan is going to do as just the star player on the team. I don't know if he'll be able to hold that team down by himself, man. So it's just a tough situation for the Bulls. It's really like a no-win situation, to be for real. Let's see. I love that y'all chat back and forth in here without me, man. All right, Sam, get some rest, man. Thank you for joining in, baby. Yeah, it's definitely a foregone conclusion for the Cowboys after the first and second round. We already know how that's gonna be, man. Like I might, like, I don't even bet, but you can go ahead and bet that they not going deep into the playoffs. Like, you can bet it for the Cowboys. So I might even make that bet this year, man. I might be able to make some money off the Cowboys. That'd be a beautiful thing. But see, that's the thing. Like, Texas, that's the thing about like Zach LaVine, man. Like, you can tell he's disgruntled right now. And I think he's doing more of it, behind the scenes. But you can see it in his game. And when you stop playing on the court, man, like, what's the point? I watched something, I think it was JJ Redick's show, probably about an hour or two ago. And he had RJ up there, Richard Jefferson, and he had Legs up there. And they were just talking about James Harden. And JJ Redick and RJ was taking up for James Harden. It was like, oh, he went through some hardships. It ain't all his fault, whatever. That's bullshit. Because you can see Harden was quitting on his team. You can tell when a player is not putting forth their whole effort on the court. When they're disgruntled and they're not happy. And that's what Zach LaVine is doing. And if he's going to be playing like that, it ain't no need for him to be on the team. Especially with someone with his skill set. He's still young. Zach ain't even in his 30s yet, is he? He ain't 30 yet. I don't think so. So it's no need for him to be that, out of it and depressed. and not playing full steam right now. So somebody gonna pick him up. Somebody is gonna know that he's good, but it's just like I don't know what team he's gonna fit on right now. And everybody can use a strong athletic wing, so that can always come into play. Because honestly, right now, even for the Warriors, he could take the place of Wiggins. He don't have the same defense, but he can take that place. Everybody can use a strong wing. Z, what up, man? Thank you for joining in, baby. That's what I was saying about Harden, man. He's quit so many times on his team, and you can see him quit on the floor, and you can see him quit during the playoffs, and you can see the same thing in the regular season with Zach LaVine. Like you can tell he just checks out, and I'm the type like, yo, I don't want that player on my team, but at the same time, somebody else might be able to utilize him because he's still young, he's still athletic, he can still score on 3 levels, and he could be a microwave when he needs to be. Somebody can use that, but you also need somebody that can play D. So, man, I don't know, man. I'm just kind of waiting to see how this whole Zach LaVine thing falls on, But I feel bad for Chicago fans, man, because y'all should have a really great team. It should be one of the best teams in the league, and it's just not. That's just a bad thing, man. I feel bad. I watched this dude on YouTube called Rusty Buckets. I don't know if y'all watch his show. But he is a Chicago fan, man. He just sit there and he just talk about basketball. And he did a show today where he was talking about the 10 players that he's thankful for in the NBA right now. And as a Chicago fan, he ain't put none of the Chicago players up there. That hurts. That's like me talking about the Warriors and not mentioning Steph. You know what I'm saying? Or damn, it ain't really nobody else on the Warriors right now that's really hooping. Maybe Kuminga. Maybe Moody. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those things, like, but to leave off one of your players on the players that you're thankful for, like that just show like how bad it is for that squad right now. Z said, love the Philly squad right now. Easy team to root for now that they got rid of Harden. Word up. And that was smart. I mean, y'all still got to deal with Tobias Harris, but at the same time, it's still a cool thing because the way Maxey stepped up once Harden was gone, like like I love seeing Maxey get his due, and I love seeing the fact that like people are celebrating Maxey right now. Ben Simmons is long gone. Like it's funny, like I don't even think about Ben Simmons as a Sixer anymore. Like it don't even cross my mind that he was a Sixer. I totally forget that. But he's probably like one of the most inconsequential players that's out there right now. Every time I talk, I put this light out. Ben Simmons is an afterthought. Harden is pretty much becoming an afterthought. See that anybody else notice this? So when Harden went over to the Clippers, the Clippers were still playing pretty good, right? Westbrook was kind of finding his spot. He was finding his zone. He was looking pretty good. And Paul George was hooping. He would have those big games. And Kawhi was looking pretty solid. And then when they brought Harden on, they went on that slide. And Harden wasn't playing right. And Harden didn't fit with the team. And everybody was like, yo, should Harden go to the bench? Or should Westbrook go to the bench? And Westbrook was like, yo, I'll take the hit. I'll go to the bench. His game suffered again. But you notice, as soon as Westbrook went to the bench, Harden started playing ball again. Did anybody else notice that? Am I the only one that saw that this might have been intentional on James Harden's part? Like, he might be the most manipulative player that's in basketball right now. I can compare him to somebody in the cigar industry right now, but I ain't gonna do that. But it's really one of those things where it's just like, yo, you can see that he's manipulating everybody, yo. And I was like, I don't know how JJ Redick could give him a pass. I don't know how RJ could give him a pass. It's like, you can't get that man a pass, yo. Yeah, Simmons hurt again? Are you serious? Like, I got no respect for Ben Simmons, yo. Like it just, I tell people if G is still in here, he knows. Harden, Julius Randle, Ben Simmons, and I said Chris Paul before. I would never want them cats on my team, and you can see why. Now I got Chris Paul on my team, and you can see how this shit is going right now for my Golden State Warriors. But like, I can't have players like that, man. And Ben Simmons was supposed to be healthy, and his back was supposed to be better, and he had such a great off season, and he still can't play, man. It's I don't know, man. That's a strange situation with that dude. I can see why people are getting tired of Pop. Pop is old and he's set in his ways, and he's a really smart coach. I get that. But I don't think it's all Pop, man. I think just the organization in itself, they go so hard with the load management thing, and they go so hard with the tanking and all that kind of stuff. And I really think that's really what's happening in San Antonio. I really think it's all there. I think they're tanking on purpose because of the way he's playing his point guards right now, the way he's doing his rotations with his players and all that kind of stuff. I honestly believe he's doing that shit on purpose. And I don't think it's just him. I think it's the whole management. They got Wemby, and I think they're thinking, okay, we get Wemby, we get one more player, and then we'll be able to have another team. And they're probably going to make a trade for some superstar somewhere down the line. I think that's the goal right now. But, like, at this point, after y'all had, as San Antonio fans, after y'all had such great players and such great success, I think y'all tired of being at the bottom. And I can see why everybody would be frustrated with being at the bottom right now. That would piss me off from a fan base. Because even right now, take it back to the Warriors, I'm pissed with Steve Kerr and the Warriors right now. It's like, why are we still playing small ball? The three best players on the Golden State Warriors right now are 30 plus years old. We got all these young players, but we don't have a center. And we like, I love Looney. I love Looney. I love him. But the boy can't throw the ball in the basket, and he's right there at the basket. And he ain't a rim protector. Ain't nobody scared to go inside. Anthony Edwards would just be dunking on this boy like nonstop. So I really think it's like sometimes you got these coaches that have had so much success for so many years that they get caught up playing the game of basketball instead of actually playing basketball. They're playing the numbers game, they're playing the analytics game, they're playing the lottery game and all that kind of shit, and then they get lost in the sauce. Or they get caught up in their own, like, hey, I did this 10 years ago, this is how we're going to keep playing. You can see Steph is stressed out right now, like, yo, why are we still doing the same things over and over again? So, yeah, I think that's what's happening with Pop, man. I'm sorry y'all going through that, man. So San Antonio's tanking again. They have 3 first-rounders, potentially 2 top 10 picks in the draft. Spurs tickets are double price from last year because y'all got Wemby, and they playing the game. That's what I was talking about. BBY, what up? Let's see. The GOAT. Thanks for putting me on the Crown Heads, man. No doubt, man. I hope you're enjoying the Crown Heads, man. Fire cigars at great value. Yeah, man. I got to give it to Huber, man. I don't know what. So let me know what you're smoking on, man. What you got? You got some 4 Kicks right now. You got La Patisserie. You got Le Carême. What you got going with the Crown Heads, man? Let's see. What? That's crazy, Taurus. Time for fans to boycott. Yeah, y'all, man. Y'all might have to speak up about that shit, man. It's kind of crazy the way that's going. Shouts out, man. We got 15 people in this chat, man. We've been going for an hour, man. Much thanks to y'all. I have no idea what my battery is, man. I ain't got my battery back up. I got about 50%. We good. We looking good. So you just had the La Patisserie today and Los Calaveras yesterday. Did you have the 2023 Los Calaveras? I just smoked the 2023 Los Calaveras the other day, man. And I really enjoyed that one, man. I had kind of fallen out with the Los Calaveras for a minute. But matter of fact, I got Crown Heads right now. But Mil Diaz going. I mean, it's decent. It's not the best one. It's because the draw is kind of tight on this one. But I had that Las Calaveras, and it was good, man. I really enjoyed that. Yeah, man, you got to get back up on that Crown Heads, man. You've been, Roger, you've been getting a lot of love from people, man. So shouts out to everybody that's been sending bombs to the man, Roger, man. Your show is great, man. I've really been enjoying what you've been doing on the show. Watched a couple of them just a moment ago. So I don't know if you got any Crown Heads in any of those bombs, man. But it's some really good Crown Head cigars, man. Y'all know, like, y'all know the stuff that I've been talking about a lot, man. And I've been giving a lot of love to that. Principle right now is heavy on my list. Crown Heads is real heavy. Dunbarton, of course. Foundation. So that's kind of what I talk about. Sanj has been lovely. I've been trying to give a lot of love to Definition too, man. I really enjoy his cigars lately. Let's see. Z said he just smoked Luciano's Y Panda. Great cigar. I haven't had that yet. Matt, Cigar Hound Dog, has been talking highly of that cigar, man. I haven't gotten a chance. I haven't even seen that cigar yet. That's kind of a weird thing. That's that's one cigar that I haven't, it hasn't come across in the bomb. I don't even think I've done like a lot of research on it, man. So I haven't really seen that to try it, man. But I've heard good things about that Y Panda. Hey, man, it's great to be humble, man. But like I said, I enjoyed talking to you the other day. I'm sorry, man, that technology did me the way that it did the other day. That I really didn't get to get into conversation with y'all on the new wave, man. But it was good to talk to you the amount that I could. But that's what this whole thing is about, man. The way we support each other in the industry, man. It's kind of cool to see people coming together like that, man. People just smaller channels supporting smaller channels, big channels supporting smaller channels, and vice versa. It's love, man. It's a real good thing. So just keep rocking, man. Pay it forward when you can. And, that's really the best we could do. Said curious, bro. You have a top 3 sticks, $30 plus MSRP, $30 plus. Ooh, that's a hard one, man. Cause I honestly, like, it's very rare that I smoke $30 cigars. Easy to get off the top of the list, off the top of my head right now. Y'all know I'm gonna say the shark. I'm gonna say all the sharks. So I'll just say it like that. But y'all know I love the eye of the shark. But one of the best ones that I had that was on that higher price point was Illusiones one-off plus 50. What was that, plus 53? I really enjoyed that cigar off the top of my head. And damn, I feel like I'm missing something. Let me do this. Let me kind of like go and do some research on that one, and then I'll try to make a top 10 list. And I'll try to do a top 10 of 30 plus cigars. Because that's when I'm gonna have to go back through. Because I don't really, like, I smoke them, but I don't smoke a lot of them, man. God damn. That's a really good question to do that off the top of the head. I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some research on that one. That's kind of hard to bring, but those two off the top of my head, I love those, and because that's just to the state of my memory that that I would pay for. Yeah, that was tough to do on the spot. That was good though. So if y'all got some recommendations, I feel like I'm missing something, man. Y'all throw them up there. But because a lot of the 30 plus cigars that I had, man, didn't live up to the hype and live up to the cost, and that's kind of disappointing. I did have Matt from Cigar Hound Dog sent me uh, one of those Sigmund Freuds. It's a light blue cigar. It's a Sigmund Freud, and I really enjoyed that cigar, man. Would I pay $30 or $40 for it again? Probably not, man. But that was a fantastic cigar, and I was hating on Freud for a minute, man, because the ones that I did have, I didn't like, but that one was damn good. So that's one that if you are looking for something in that price point, go out and try to find that Sigmund Freud, man. It was surprisingly good. I don't know nothing about $90 cigars, bro. You can't ask me about that one. The only one that I got right now is the unicorn that Peter from Cigar Collective sent me. So when I get in my new place, he and I are gonna get on the live. We're gonna smoke that cigar together. I can't wait to smoke that. But if it weren't for him, I never would have had that cigar, bro. Rob Cunningham up in the place, man. What up, though? He said finally smoked the Aganorsa leaf Habano, good taste without being overpowering. Aganorsa has good tobacco, man. Only thing with Aganorsa, you just gotta kind of be careful about having them, too humidified. But the rare leaf is good. The Supreme leaf, I still love the Supreme leaf. The Habano is solid. The Connecticut is good. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. That's some good cigars, bro. For sure. Trying to relight this cigar. Forgive me. Said I'm reviewing my top sticks for 2023, and so far I got the SB 1014 Black and the R&J Envy. Yo, man, I was hearing good things about that Envy, man. That's not one I've had for myself, but I was hearing good things about that. I think it was Master Your Ash that was talking highly about that cigar, man. As far as the SP 1014, I don't want to give away too much of my list, man, because that's gonna be my swan song for the channel. But I definitely have the SP 1014. It's a couple Dunbartons that's up there, and it's gonna be a couple that I think is gonna surprise y'all. I'm glad y'all putting together the end of the year list, man. But you know what's crazy is the fact that we at the end of the year. That's nuts, man. Like, yo, we already like putting together the end of the year list, man. That's just, I feel like this year just started, man. And this has been a roller coaster year for me all the way around, man. Like, this year's been crazy. And I said on Facebook that this has been the longest, shortest year of my life. Like, this year went by so fast, but it's just been so much happening just in my personal life, just career-wise, just moving, traveling, you know, beef with reviewers, family stuff, just, you know, just deciding what I was gonna do with the channel. Like, oh man, it's just this year has been crazy, man. It's been nuts, and I can't believe we at that point already. He said he'll take a guess to see if the Micarita Black is in there. It might be. It's a good chance that might. It may be, man. I ain't gonna say yeah or nay, but yeah, it's a good chance that might be in there. And then Sinistro's Last Cowboys. Yo, I've been hearing good things about that cigar. I don't know if I got that one. I think Pick Jimmy just had that cigar just the other day, man. And I don't know if did I smoke that cigar? Did I smoke that cigar? I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't even remember. But I haven't had a lot of Sinistro, man. It's really hard to get that brand out here, man. It really is. So I haven't had much luck with that cigar. So, and that's why, yeah, if you notice, like I haven't talked much about Sinistro. Like I've enjoyed it, but I haven't talked much about it. And the other thing that was crazy, man, is at the beginning of the year, I wasn't smoking cigars, man. I went through such a rough patch early in this year that I didn't start really like smoking cigars like on a regular basis until like maybe like June or July, man. So I started compiling my list around that time, and the list filled up, man. I smoked some good cigars this year, man. It's been some really like surprising stuff. Casa 1910 was good. You know, Sanj got really busy with his cigars. Principal has been banging. Dunbarton and Crown Heads got busy this year. Them boys is busy. They was doing a lot. So that's a lot to add in there. But that's not gonna tell you what's really on my list though. I think it's gonna be some surprises that y'all are not gonna suspect up there this year. And that's kind of a good thing. So it went from being like I'm not smoking anything to like having some really cool cigars that kind of jumped up on the list. I know it's late for y'all, man. Thank you for joining in, man. Shouts out to you. Yeah, you on the East Coast too, man. Shouts out from Miami, man. So yeah, man, get your rest, man. I hope you ate well. Hope your family's doing well. Thank you for joining in with the kid, man. I really appreciate you. This shit's still out. Fuck this big lighter, man. Let's see. What else we got, man? What else is going on? What's been some of y'all favorites, man, for the people that's still in here? What have y'all been smoking on that's like, what's moved the needle? It's a lot of really new cigars that have come out, man. God damn. I got a torch. It ain't working. All of it's gone. There's no more fluid in there. I know. And I rarely ever use these soft flames. But the problem is, I'm staying in a hotel right now. So the only way that I could get a lighter was at this little Navy exchange that's in the hotel. And the only thing they had was these little bitch-ass big lighters. That's why I'm struggling right now. So both of my torches are out, and all my fluid is packed up with my stuff, man. So I feel like I'm a survivalist out here, man. I'm just trying to, I might as well just take 2 sticks and rub them together and try to light this motherfucker. I know this ain't good entertainment, man. Watch me trying to light up a cigar. Hey, y'all gotta bear with me though, man. I'm a man on an island right now, literally. It's like Castaway out this motherfucker. Fire! My man Roger said recently he been falling in love with Placencia. What you been smoking out of Placencia line, man? I like Placencia too. Armadillo Campo is one I had recently, man, that I loved. And Matt is really into the Colorado joint. Not Colorado. Yeah, it was a Colorado, yeah. He was really loving that joint. And the white label joint, the Reserva, that's been really good too. CK said I got that new Placencia coming in from 151. I gotta try that one too, and I'm glad you mentioned that because the 149, I usually don't like Honduran tobacco. I usually don't mess with the Honduran tobacco like that, but yo, when I tell you that 149 and the 146 are money, I know that 151 gotta be a banger too. I don't have that one yet, man, so I hope you get that and I hope you enjoy it. Let's see, Justin said Principal Angelique, apostate, number 3. Is that, am I reading that right? And I haven't had any of that apostate, man. I gotta try some of that. I know people are talking highly of apostate right now. So I've been seeing a lot of them pop up on Instagram and the whole 9. So that's what's up. Let's see, was thinking of you when I was watching your man Guy Ferry on Cigars Daily and this week and promoting his cigar. I couldn't sit through that show. It wouldn't be no way I could sit through that show. I didn't even know that happened. It don't even come in my feed anymore. So that's just kind of funny, man. Like I hope you enjoyed that show, man. I hope they were entertaining for you. But I don't know if I couldn't sit through that show. JB in the place to be, he said, yo, what up? What up, man? How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving, bro. Hope you ate well, man. I hope the family's well. Yeah, CK, that 149 is amazing, man. I didn't know I was gonna like that cigar that much. And in all honesty, I was kind of like, yeah, you know, I'll get around to it. I'll smoke that cigar, I'll check it because it was Honduran. When I lit that bitch up, man, it was so damn good. That was a surprise for me, man. Like, I mean, I know Placencia tobacco is great anyway, and I know that line is good. So I really shouldn't have been that way, but I was just being that way because it was Honduran tobacco. That was really it. Roger said the Alma del Fuego. Yeah, a lot of people rock with that one. The Alma Fuerte. Alma Fuerte is a classic. He said even the Year of the Tiger. I know some have their issues with it, but I really loved it. The only issue that I had with that was the cost of that cigar, and with the fact that a lot of the Zodiac cigars, they seem like they're being rushed to market, and the wrappers on them are so fragile that they break and crack, and it's just like I'm just not in the mood for cigars that don't, like, if they're not smoking the way they're supposed to smoke, I just get rid of them. Like I don't have a lot of patience and tolerance for that right now. So I get it, man. But Placencia, just in general, like the quality of that tobacco is where it's at, and I'm not mad at that. Got 19 people rocking with me right now, man. 15 people have hit that like button, man. Shouts out to all of y'all, man. I really dig it. The only outcome is money. No criminal charges can be filed. What? Wait. I might have missed something on that one. If you know, you know. Catch me back up if I'm not knowing what's going on that one. I don't know where that one came from. Let's see. Also smoked the Etherfall, and so far it's been my favorite. Did I have that one? I don't even remember, man. But I can't say, man. I'm glad you enjoyed that joint, man. But like, yeah, man, they get busy. You're a cook with the Navy, right? No, 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 no. I'm civilian. I'm not with the Navy at all. My past career, I was a culinarian and a butcher, and I worked in customer service. So yeah, I got a culinary degree, but I'm not a cook with the Navy. But hypothetical though, on your death row, what is your last meal? Honestly, right now, what I think my last meal would be. Hopefully, this don't ever come up, but it might be lomo saltado, man. And I know that sounds like a strange thing, man, but lomo saltado is like one of those meals, man. When I eat it, I just get happy, and it's so simple. Soy sauce and vinegar, good cut of steak, some French fries, onions, and tomatoes, and you put that bitch together with some rice and a fried egg, and that shit is just, I'm happy. That might be that might be my last meal, man. Honestly, it just works, man. Everything about that meal just goes together. If it's not that, man, it might be something, some kind of West Indian food. But yeah, I think that would be it, man. I don't need anything fancy. I don't need any kind of gas streaks or anything like that. I don't need a ribeye, like I think that would be it. And if they would, do it the right way, you get some ribeye. What is the ribeye? I'm drawing a blank right now. It's from the spinalis muscle, man. Ribeye cap. You get ribeye cap and slice that up really thin and put that in my lomo saltado. You got a happy brother. Shouts out to everybody who hit that like button, man. I appreciate y'all. He said I only had one apostate, but I'll definitely be trying others, man. I love when you go to a newer brand and it's a brand that you like haven't been familiar with, but it hit the spot. Like, um, what was that? The La. I really wasn't expecting that cigar to be as good as it was. That shit kind of like stung the brain. The equalizer that I had from definition was like, oh, okay, this money, I'm definitely gonna out more for them. Same thing when I got into principle. Like I had one principle, I was like, okay, I got to keep digging down this rabbit hole. So I totally get you on that, man. So I'm hoping I had the same experience with apostate when I get to that. My last meal will be oxtail soup. See, that's what I'm talking about. Some good West Indian food, man. Oxtail is money right now. The downside to oxtail, man, is like everybody is using oxtail and everything right now. And the price of oxtail went from being peasant food to going through the roof. I got a funny story for y'all, man. I don't think I've ever told this story for y'all. Okay, so and I'll get to all the chat that's in here in a sec. I try to make this story quick. I love this fucking story. Sorry for spitting on camera. So when I was a butcher, I was working the counter. So what I would try to do, we did whole animal butchery. So I would break down the whole animal. I would get a whole cow in, break it down from top to bottom. Chuck, short, loin, round, everything. We did the whole animal. We did all the primals. I did everything myself. I would break it down. So we couldn't really have a lot of waste, right? So what I would try to do is I would try to get all the offal and I would put that out, sweet breads and all this other kind of stuff. I would try to put that out so everybody could get, all the cuts. And then I would take shanks and I would take the hanger steak. I would take chuck eyes and I would get all these cuts that most people didn't know about, Denver cuts and all this kind of stuff. And I would put all that shit out in the counter so everybody could get it. So I would have, of course, you would have your tenderloins, you would have your ribeyes, you would have your porterhouse, New York strip. You would have all the stuff that people were familiar with. And then you would do the stuff from the round that is like, it's not the best tasting meat, but it's good for roast. But I would cut those into steaks too. And I would do like, Western cuts and all, from the bottom round. I would do like all the different peasant cuts. So when the customers would come in, I would always tell them like, hey, if you really want a really good steak at a good price, this is a flat iron. You can get this one. It's tender. It's flavorful. It's from the chuck. Blah 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 blah. I would give them all the science that I had from all these different cigars and not cigars, all these different cuts and all that. And I would put them. I would have some at like $3 a pound, $4 a pound, whatever, and they would be affordable. And I would give them a lesson on like hey, these were the peasant cuts. These were the type of meats that weren't, really that good that all the people would go for. But then in the time frame, all the peasant cuts, people started using those different cuts in lomo saltado, or they would use these different dishes, oxtail, and the price started going up, and the price of beef just started going up in general. So this lady came into the shop one day. This white lady came in one day, and look at me, man. Look at me. And she came, she came to the counter, and she was, I'm showing her like all these different pork cuts, pork secreto. I'm like, hey, look, these are all the things, pork shank. If you want to save money, you can make, with oxtail, you can use all of these different cuts. You can use it to season your meat. You can use them, as, slow cooking, low and slow. And you can put a bunch of different flavors in there. And she patted me on my arm, and she was like, did you know that the black people, they use oxtails to season their greens? And my boy Tucker was making sausages beside me. He was my partner in crime, and he would make sausage with me. And the way he turned around and looked at me was like, is this lady serious? Look at me, man. I grew up in the South. I'm a butcher. I'm a 30-year-old black man, and you're gonna tell me about greens? And the way she was like, did you know that the black people use these cuts to season their greens? I'm like, nah, really? She was like, it blew my mind when I found out about this. I had no idea, and it just changed everything for me. And I'm like, all right, lady, that's sweet, yo. But it was just crazy to me. Like I didn't think she even realized who she was talking to at the time. But I always think about that story, man, when I'm telling people about like how to use oxtails and like how much the price is going up, because so many of the restaurants and so many of the places are taking these foods that we couldn't eat before, and they're making dishes out of them. And now all of these like people making like high-end chitlins and all this other kind of stuff that people wouldn't eat, using sweet breads and awful and making dishes out of it. And now all of that stuff that used to be cheap is like sky high, man. So that was just kind of a funny thing that happened to me while I was a butcher, yo. I was just like, I wish you could have seen my man Tucker's face when she said that shit. And Tucker from Minnesota, whitest white dude in the world, man. That's my homeboy. I miss that dude. But he was like, it was a running joke for like 5 years after I left that butcher shop. Anyway, what we got next? He said, being the holidays, I've been smoking the Dunbar and Stillwell Star edition. I just finished the Cavalier white label. That Cavalier is money. And Justin, you probably weren't in here, man. I had a Stillwell Star too, man, for the year 22. And this thing was packed so tight I couldn't smoke it. So that's why it's down here on the ground right now. But John Cigar Alchemist was saying that's kind of been a thing with those cigars. This is the first one that I ever had that was plugged like that, man. So I'm kind of disappointed. I was trying to have that flavor for the holidays now. While I was sitting here talking to y'all, I was gonna, smoke a Stillwell Star. But that's how that went. Oxtail and rice and peas, Ty. Like, I swear I could eat that every day. You give me that, man, and give me some roti so I can sop up that syrup, man. I'll be a happy dude. Let me get some jerk sauce on my rice and peas and a beef patty. I'm in heaven, brother. Innocent is in the building, man. What's up, homeboy? I meant to give you a shout out at the beginning of the thing, man. I got sidetracked, man. Shouts out to you, baby. Hope you ate good, man. Hope everything's good. Hope Sanj is good, man. Hope life is good for you. Yeah, Big Mama used ham hocks in the greens, yo. No doubt, man. And that's what we used to do in the South too, man. So, and so when most of my family like kind of changed in the late 90s, man, when everybody stopped eating pork, we started using turkey neck. And that shit was money too. So I still use turkey neck sometimes when I make greens, man. And what was weird, man, I didn't get to cook at all, man. My wife makes some banging ass mac and cheese. And I usually make some lamb, and I'll usually like take a like skirt steak, and I will put like the what's the Chilean sauce, man? I can't think of the name of it right now. The green sauce that they put on skirt steak. I'll make that, and then I will use Japanese sweet potatoes, satsumaimo, and make yakimo, and then I'll make that as my yams. I usually get down, man. I usually like cook, and I make I make my greens and I make my hot water cornbread. The spoon when you make the quenelles for the cornbread. And I didn't get to cook this year, man. I didn't get to do any of that stuff this year, man. So it's been kind of a weird Thanksgiving, man. It's just kind of a weird place to be. That's why I kind of want to come hang with y'all, chill, talk some good food. He said he hasn't run into that yet. It's kind of a wild thing, man. Anything can happen, bro. Innocent said it's all good, man. It's good to see you, baby. Hey, we still gonna do a live together, man. I did not forget about you, brother. I did not forget. When you come to Brooklyn, I got that Trinity spot. Yo, we just talked about that, man. I cannot wait, bro. I cannot wait, man. So my sister-in-law is gonna be here in Japan for the holidays, man. She bringing her husband and my niece over here. So we're gonna kick it, and then we gotta make our way back to the States. So when I get to Brooklyn, man, I'm gonna holler at you for sure. That's no joke. Had a Mississippi pot roast today, man. What you throw in the pot roast, man? Is it just like the standard with the onions and carrots in that joint? What cut of meat did you use? I love that I could just come up here, man, and just talk to y'all about whatever, man. This is some good shit, man. It's the type of shit that make me happy. I'm still struggling with my lighter, y'all. 19 likes in here, man. Thank y'all for showing love to the homeboy. He said I use turkey wings or the tails. Yo, that works just as well too, man. If you got a nice brine to go with that, man, or it's nice and smoky, make your greens sound like tastes like money, man. That's a good thing. Okay, so I got a question for y'all. Cranberry sauce. I've been asking everybody. For the cranberry sauce lovers, do y'all go cranberry sauce from scratch with the vanilla bean and the lemon juice in that joint? Or do you go the can route with the ocean spray? Come on, man. Y'all gotta let me know. Which one y'all do? I know y'all had to have some cranberry sauce today or tonight. Innocent said can all day. Daniel said can all day. Jason said can route. Jason don't ever talk. He said can route. Let's get it. Y'all just made my day. Word up. Let me get that ocean spray. I don't care what's going on, bro. I can make everything. I can make my green beans from scratch. I can make my stuffing from scratch. I can make my collard greens from scratch. I can do everything from scratch. Let me get that ocean spray, yo. It don't matter. Word up. Y'all just made my day. But I gotta give a shout out to my homegirl Lisa, man. She makes a damn good from scratch cranberry sauce. And I swear to God, I'll have her cranberry sauce and still have my ocean spray on the same plate. I do not eat chitlins, bro. I do not eat chitlins. I can't do it. I know. But one, it's just I'm not good with offal. I'm not good with offal in general. Like I don't eat like I can do sweetbreads. I had foie gras, and that was that's a whole nother story within itself. But when it comes to like liver and any like tripe and souse and all, I can't do it, man. And like I'm a brother from the South, I'm supposed to be able to eat like that. That's how my grandmother cooked for us and all that. I can't do it. My mom used to sit me at the table and wouldn't let me get up unless I ate chitlins. But y'all know if anybody got a family that cooked chitlins, man, the way your house smell after that shit, like I can't do it, bro. I can't. I don't care if you take out membranes. I don't care if you wash them, and it's just no way. He said you still on the. Hey, I was traumatized too. Innocent. I was too, bro. My mom used to make me sit at the table. Yo, I would not move. Yo, I'd be sitting there. I'm not eating chitlins, bro. I can't do it, man. And I'm an adventurous eater. I think the only thing like that I really can't eat, I can't do blood sausage, and I can't do chitlins. Like it's I can't. It's impossible. I even had dinuguan. I don't know if like y'all, if we got any Filipinos in here. Have y'all had dinuguan? My man made dinuguan nachos for me. I can eat that. And, yo, my father-in-law is Filipino. That motherfucker can tear up some menudo. I can't do it. I can't. I can't, bro. I can't. Jay says stinks in the house after cooking them. Yo, your whole house be smelling like that for like 2 days. I can't, bro. I can't. Anything that smell like that, I can't eat it, man. And I understand, like, I know the culture and I know the history behind, like, the Maroons, the Cameroonians, the people from Trinidad, and the people from Benin and Togo. All these people, like, that's what we had. We were forced to eat that, and we made a dish out of it. I understand the history. I understand the culture. You're not getting me to eat pig ass, bro. I'm can't do it. Not gonna be able to do it. I tried, man. Shouts out to everybody to hit that like button, man. This cigar keep going out. Mm. There we go. Yo, if you know yourself, I damn near die of hunger before I touch chitlins. Me too, man. I might have to starve, bro. Roger, you eating chitlins, man? That's what you trying to tell me, man? You can put it in all the menudo you want to put it in. I can't do it. Yeah, that's yeah. Let's see, red double hot sauce and chitlins all day. CK with sweetbreads, bang. I can't, man. I can't do it. I see what you're talking about, man. I can't roll with you on that one. I can't clap to that. I can't. I eat a lot of wild stuff, man. I had wagyu sushi the other day, man. They just take thin cuts of wagyu, put it on the rice. It's raw. I ate it. It was delicious. I eat squid. I eat my wife is half Filipino, and they do the squid ink. What's the joint called? Adobo. Squid ink adobo. I eat that shit from time to time. I can't. The other thing I can't do is balut. Y'all know what balut is? Anybody ever had balut or tried balut? He said he run. Yeah, that belongs on Fear Factor for real, yo. So if y'all haven't had balut, it's when they take it's a bird egg, and the embryo is in the egg, not like the little piece of whatever that you get in finding eggs. It's like the whole bird is in there, beak, brain, body, all, and they say it's delicious. I can't eat balut, man. I can't do it, and I know I'm disrespecting my wife's people, but I can't. I eat most of the stuff that they cook. I can do that. I can do dinuguan. Can't do balut. Can't do chitlins. Not gonna be able to do it. Sorry. He said hell nah to the balut. Yo, you can eat pig ass, but you can't eat the baby chick. I can't, man. I eat a lot of stuff, man. I tried just about everything, man. When I went into culinary school, I made it my thing, like the same way I am with cigars, man. I want to be able to understand the flavor profiles, and I want to be able to kind of have like the idea of what culture is. I would be able to do the century egg before I could do balut, yo. But that's still kind of like, I don't know. But I wanted to be able to have this whole concept that I could eat just about everything. I could go into most people's culture and to be able to try their foods and at least just kind of get a feel for what it is, man. But I had balut in my hand and I couldn't take the bite out of it. I just couldn't do it. I had skate when I was in culinary school, and I made a promise to myself that I would try just about everything. He said, "Damn, I never heard of half of this stuff. I hate zucchini and squash." Hey man, I dig y'all, man. Y'all some funny motherfuckers, man. But yeah, like, I feel you on that. But and I don't really like zucchini and squash either. This is what pisses me off, because I don't like melon. I don't like melon. I don't like. I can barely eat watermelon. I hate honeydew. I hate cantaloupe. I just don't like the taste of melon. And you know how when you go get a fruit bowl or something like that from whatever restaurant, and it's like 90% melon, and then they give you like one little strawberry and they give you like one little grape. They do the same thing when you go get mixed vegetables, and they always got to put in like zucchini and squash, and then you get like one little fucking green bean, or you get one little broccoli and that shit. They do that because it's cheap, and most people don't like it, and it's a dime a dozen, and that shit frustrates me to no end. And that was a culinary trick. Whenever we had to do a quick vegetable joint, we would just go in there and get a big box of zucchini and a big box of fucking squash, and we would cut them up and put some carrots in there, and that would be your mixed vegetables because it's cheap and it don't taste like shit. So I kind of feel you on that, man. So anyway, that's a culinary trick to save money, is to put zucchini and squash and shit. So another wild thing, man, from the South. I don't know if y'all family used to do this, but my uncle was a pig farmer. My uncle Skip. So they lived out in the country, and they had the whole pig farm on the joint. The whole area used to smell like, y'all probably never heard of it. It's a little small town called Leggett, and he had a pig farm out there. So he made the best barbecue. He got the best barbecue sauce I've ever had in my life. And I'm from Eastern North Carolina, so we do chopped barbecue. Our barbecue is like you chop it up, and you put red peppers, and you put vinegar, and it's vinegar based. So we don't do barbecue like you would do in Memphis or in Texas and all that kind of stuff. We got the best barbecue, and if you don't like it, you can fight somebody else. I'm not changing my opinion on that. But that being said, we would also have chickens out there too, and my aunt used to eat chicken feet and pig feet. At this stage in my life now, I might try it, but that was the scariest fucking thing in the world for me to see, like actual chicken feet, and they just tearing that shit up and eating the scales and shit off of it. It's dinosaurs, man. The motherfuckers eating dinosaur feet. I don't know if y'all ever tried that before, but that's one of the things. It's like I still like I get flashbacks of my aunt and my uncle eating that shit. He said he can't do chicken feet either. So I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, man. Just when I think back to like different cultures, man, it's always gonna be something that you've never seen before, that you never had before. So I try to make it this thing that I was, the same way I am with cigars. I'm gonna try whatever cigar over here. Okay, you got a new wrapper. You bringing something from Ometepe. You got San Andreas. You got whatever. We got something from Zimbabwe. I'm trying to see what all these different tobaccos were like, and I was doing the same thing. Same thing with wine. I used to be like, okay, let me try wine from this region, from that region. That's why I started drinking alcohol. I never had any alcohol until I was 28 years old. I never had a sip. I didn't have a beer. I didn't have wine. To this day, I've never had sake. I've never had any kind of liquor. I've never had bourbon. I've never had whiskey. I've never had any of that. I didn't drink anything until I went into culinary school, because I made that promise to myself that I was going to try everything. I was going to be able to try it. I'm still at a point right now where I'm debating on whether I'm going to try bourbon or whiskey and sake. I mean, I'm here in Japan. Do y'all know, man, that there's a place here in Japan that has all you can drink sake, where they have it in vending machines, where like, not vending machine, well, it's kind of like vending machines where you can just go and they just got it on tap and you can just go through and just drink sake all fucking day. You pay whatever amount to get it in there, and they can just pour you cups of sake, and you can just try sake from all different regions. There's a major part of me that wants to try that out, but I've never been drunk. I've never even been tipsy. The closest I've ever come to being even feeling like an alcoholic effect was I went to a Mos Def concert when I was in California, Yasin Bay, and Mos didn't show up. We were in Sacramento, I think, and so the only thing we could do was just go to a bar after the concert. That didn't happen, and they had this grapefruit beer or something. It was some kind of grapefruit beer. I love grapefruit. I know people don't fuck with grapefruit like that. I think grapefruit is fucking fantastic. I love that shit. And I had 2 glasses. That's the most alcohol I've ever had in one sitting. I was about to wipe on my shirt. And that's the first time that I ever felt my lips get numb. And that's the only effect that I've ever had from alcohol. But there's a part of me, man, like you got Japanese hibiki, you know, you got all these whiskeys, and everybody's talking like, you got people like Michael from Master Ash, and he's always talking about these great alcohols, and he's pairing them with his cigars and stuff like that. And I've never had that experience. Oh yeah, yo, Z, I'm a hip hop head, bro. I'm a hip hop head, man. Not like that. This was shortly after he did the Ecstatic, and then shortly after he changed his name to Yasin Bey. And I was hyped to see Mos Def, man. I never seen Mos Def live, yo. Like a lot of my favorite artists, I never got to see live. So I was like, yo, I get to see Mos Def. And that motherfucker, this is when he went over to South Africa or whatever. He left the country. So he came in, but I kept telling my wife, I was like, yo, he ain't gonna show up. And that motherfucker didn't show up. I was pissed. But it is what it is. Did I listen to the Andre 3000 Flute album? I did, man. I play it every night for my kids, you know, to go to bed. So when my kids go to sleep, I love jazz. If y'all never know that, man, I love jazz music. I'm a huge Miles Davis fan. And I love Ahmad Jamal. I love Bill Evans. I love Gil Evans. So like for my kids, we either play them Chopin at night, or I'll play them Bill Evans, just so they could like listen to like some classical style music so they can go to sleep. So instead of just doing that, like I played that Andre 3000 album, and to me, it reminded me of it was kind of a mix between Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon and Miles Davis' Bitches Brew. So it's like, if you're not into that like really experimental cultural music, then you probably wouldn't dig it. But I liked it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think a lot of people would listen to it if it wasn't Dre, but I liked it. But that's the only time I give it spin. And between Black Thought and Andre 3000, they're my 2 favorite MCs. And I was one of those cats that was like waiting for Dre to drop an album, but I knew it was never gonna happen. Especially after shouts out to Black Star, man. That's one of my favorite albums of all time, man. But when it came to 3000, man, after that Rick Rubin interview, I knew he was never gonna come out with a rap album. I knew it was never gonna happen, man. And just with the state of mind that he was in and dealing with his anxiety and all that kind of stuff, I knew that was never gonna happen. And it's funny that what's my man Killer Mike, when he said Dre was gonna release an album, and he had to backtrack and was like, oh nah, that's not gonna happen. That's funny. He was talking about this album, and it's funny that he had to backtrack on that. And I think Dre was still kind of in that mode where he wasn't sure if he was gonna drop that album or not. Y'all know, man, y'all watch my show, man. Y'all know I use Umi Says, man. Y'all know how I am about hip hop, man. Y'all know how I love hip hop, man. I'm still, like, I don't listen to much hip hop now, but I'm still hip hop to the bone, man, through and through. I was a b-boy, man. I used to break dance in the malls and all that kind of stuff, man. But I rock with this album, man. It's just, you know, I play it for my kids more than I do just for listening for myself now. Wait, were you saying Black Star? Do you mean they have a new album other than the one they just did like a year or two ago when they were with Dave Chappelle? Because you know they released that album, but they did some weird thing that you had to be like attached to their Patreon. It was something that it was weird that most people didn't even get to hear the album. I love Tribe, man. I don't know if I would put Tribe number 1. I don't know. Q-Tip is special, man. Even my dog, like all my dogs, all my pets have hip hop names. So I had a black pit bull. We named her De La after De La Soul. I had a cat named Dilla after Jay Dilla. And my last pit bull was Fife Dog. So I got mad love for hip hop, man. I got mad love for Tribe all day. I don't think I got on my Tribe Called Quest socks today. Nah, I don't have on those today. So like, yeah, I'm hip hop all day, man. Innocent said 3,000 need to stop playing and get back with Big Boy. I need some new outcasts, man. I would love for that to happen, man, but it ain't never gonna happen, man. We ain't gonna hear from Dre no more, man. It's just as somebody that's an artist like he is, I don't think it's any artist that I relate to more than I relate to Dre. And when it comes to the way you create art and the way like when your anxiety get in the way, we ain't ever gonna get that from Dre, man. We might get lucky to get a couple more, bars out of him, man. When he does a feature, that's really about it. Master Ace is underrated. I do agree with that. He's not like my favorite. Like to me, the most underrated MCs ever would be Heavy D and Special Ed. And I like Master Ace too. And what made me think about that was the old Crooklyn Dodgers, man. Like that was my era of hip hop, man. I miss them cats, especially them with Black Moon and Boot Camp Click, Sean Price. But Master Ace, I never fell in love with Master Ace like a lot of people did. I would probably give MF Doom more love than I would give to Master Ace. But yeah, I definitely feel that. I love Master Ace too. I ain't got no disrespect for Master Ace at all. Nah, I fuck with the Locks heavy too, man. I'm kind of sad that Styles P retired, and that's another one that's super underrated. Like everybody loved Jada Kiss. I love Kiss, and I think bar for bar, I would put Kiss up there with somebody like Big L and somebody like Black Thought. My only problem with Kiss is that Kiss is like he got one flow and he don't ever change his flow up, and that frustrates me when you got rappers that got one flow. Same thing with Fonte from Little Brother. I love Fonte. That's North Carolina all day, but they got one flow. Styles P, I would say Styles P and Freeway were probably the most versatile out of all of them. Like I love them cats because they can change. Andre 3000 was my favorite because every time you heard 3000, he had a different flow. So yeah, everybody blaming Badu, man. Don't blame Badu. I named my daughter Erica after her, man. My oldest daughter is Erica after her, man. I love Run the Jewels too, man, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all, man, I get in trouble with every time I say this. I don't like Killer Mike. Killer Mike gets on my nerves, but I love LP. LP is extremely underrated too. So I can listen to Run the Jewels because of LP. I was on LP back from the Company Flow Fun Crusher days, man. I can see why Styles would be your favorite rapper, man. I really rock with Styles heavy, man. Kiss voice is amazing, man. Kiss got probably one of the best voices in hip hop, period. I know people, yeah, man, I get in trouble innocent every time, man, but I don't like Killer Mike, man. I don't like his flow. I don't like his cadence. I don't like his patterns. I don't like the way he rhymes. It's the same thing like I love DMX and Pop because of their energy, but they're not good rappers to me. And I feel the same way about Killer Mike. I'm just not a fan of the way he put his bars together, man. I just never could get into it. And then when he started talking like in interviews, like, yo, I'm better than everybody out there. I'm like, yo, you not that nice, yo. Like you really not. It was like, oh, I killed all these rappers that came on. Like, yo, you can't put Killer Mike on something with Ghostface. You can't put him on something with Styles P. You can't put him on a track with Black Thought and think he gonna be the best rapper up there. It's just not gonna happen. You can't put him on something with Kiss and think he gonna be the best rapper out there. It's just, he's not that dude, and he's hyping himself up. And he was like, oh man, I'll rap, Big Boy and Dre. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out my face, man. Like, but he's not better than LP to me. You know what I'm saying? So that's like, I can't get with Killer Mike, man. And I know, I think he an intelligent brother. I think he can have some interesting perspective, but just I can't sit there and listen to Killer Mike. And everybody was getting in my socks because I haven't listened to the Killer Mike album yet. And I know he up for a Grammy and all that shit. I just can't get into Killer Mike, man. I just don't like the way he raps grates my nerves. I just it's like listening to the new Eminem. Like I can listen to old school Eminem, Infinite Eminem, and Sway and Tech Eminem. I can listen to that, but like anything after the Marshall Mathers LP, I can't get with Eminem. I can't, his voice just gets on my nerves. Like I can't I can't flow with him. So Killer Mike is the same way. Mm-mm. Hell no. It ain't no way he top five. Like I listen to Tip before I listen to Killer Mike. And I honestly like T.I. is weird as hell right now, but the motherfucker can rap his ass off. You know what I'm saying? And like you got Big Boy, you got Dre. It's way too many rappers. Like shit, I'll listen to Childish Gambino before I listen to Killer Mike. I mean, that's just me, man. It's just like certain people I can't feel, and I can't feel Killer Mike, man. And it's hard for me right now, man, because as much as I love hip hop, man, it's not many people that I listen to. Like J. Cole from North Carolina, man. I gotta give North Carolina love too, because everybody when you talk about North Carolina and you talk about North Carolina MCs, everybody goes straight to fucking Petey Pablo, and it gets on my goddamn nerves. But J. Cole, like I like J. Cole's newer stuff, and I like his early stuff from his mixtapes, like the Come Up. That's when J. Cole was hot to me. Like I don't like most of J. Cole's albums. I like KOD on, but we got some real MCs. Luda is underrated as as a skilled MC. Luda is super underrated. So I don't know if y'all remember back in the day when they were doing, what was that show, Punk? And Method Man and Redman tried to punk Ludacris, and they gave him that weird ass beat when it was like the rabbits. It was like the ribbit sounds up there. It was like the frog sounds. And Luda was like, yo, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this beat? And he was like, yo, this Meth and Red, man, they legends. I got to try to do something. And he flowed on that beat and actually made it sound good. Like, that's when you a true MC, to be able to do shit like that. I know people love Forest Hill Drives like that, man. I like that album. I don't love it, but I do respect it. And it's just, during that time, J. Cole was like boring as hell to me. I do like what he's doing now, man. I like what he's evolved into, man. I just think skill set wise, man, he's just one of the best that's out there. What about Wu-Tang? All right, I'm gonna make y'all mad right now. I wasn't the biggest Wu-Tang fan. Now let me preface that by saying Liquid Swords is one of the greatest albums of all times. Only Built for Cuban Links is one of the greatest albums of all times. Iron Man Supreme Clientele, one of the greatest albums of all times. Tikal is one of the greatest albums. Like, I love those, like, individually. I love Ghostface. Ghostface is one of my, like, probably in my top 10. Raekwon might be in my top 20. Method Man is nice. GZA, I like what GZA was doing. I do not like the RZA. I don't like him as a producer. I don't like him especially as a rapper. So when it came to, like, what was that, World Tour album or whatever, the second album, I didn't like it. I know Capadonna got busy on that album. I know Meth and Raekwon and Ghost got busy. But I never really liked You God. I never really liked Master Killer. So like as a whole, I wasn't the hugest Wu-Tang fan. I was more, during that time, I was listening to more Boot Camp Click than I was listening to Wu-Tang. So I was really heavy on like Helter Skelter. That was my favorite group at the time. That Nocturnal album was my shit. So you like, Meth really doesn't have a really good album other than Tikal. Anything after Tikal, like I can't listen to a Meth album by himself. I love what he was doing with Redman, but like he never really did. He don't really have like a classic like that. Like Ghostface like first 5 or 6 albums are untouchable. You know what I'm saying? And it's very few people. Redman, his first 5 or 6 albums, until he got to Doc's Name was great, but then he fell off after Malpractice. But it's very few people that can put out consistent albums like that. And that to me, it's like a sign of a classic MC. If you can if your albums are just as good as your freestyles or whatever, then you're doing something. And Ghostface probably did that better than anybody. Let's see. Podcast, simple bars, but they're extremely heartfelt. Dear Mama, Keep Your Head Up, Brenda's Got a Baby. Those are classics to me, but they're still like not my favorite joints. Like for me, when it come to Pac, I know y'all see me wearing the bandanas and all that shit, but I swear I didn't get that from Pac, and everybody like to joke about that. But I wasn't the biggest Pac fan until much later. Like my favorite Pac album is probably gonna be Don Illuminati. I don't like All Eyes on Me as an album. The double album that everybody is in love with, I don't like that album. But he got the joint. I got my mind made up. The joint that he did with the Dog Pound and he did with Meth and Red. Pac got busy on that verse. Pac killed that shit. I'm taking off my coat, clearing my throat. Like he got busy on that joint. All Eyes on Me. Picture Me Rolling might be my favorite Pac song out of anything. Picture Me Rolling. When you take, what's the Big Psych, whatever his name is, when you take him off and they got a version of that joint with the Outlaws, Picture Me Rolling is my favorite Pac song. So I probably got like 10 Pac songs that I like. After that, I'm done. I'm not the biggest Pac fan in the world though. He said, Z, you wilding out right now. I like Nas, but not the best. I wouldn't say Nas is the best either, but you can't really knock Illmatic. You can't knock It Was Written. It Was Written might even be better than Illmatic, honestly. Stillmatic was a banger. And Life Is Good. I love Life Is Good. Life Is Good. People sleep on Life Is Good. Life Is Good might be his, if it's not his best album, it might be his second or third best album. But I like what he's doing now with King's Disease. And, you know, like Nas still getting busy, man. It's hard to get busy at this age. Intercourse said, I'm very old and I love Ice-T and Public Enemy. Public Enemy is one of the greatest groups of all time, man. So, and I'm right there with you. I wish hip hop could go back to that era where you could have like the Bomb Squad and you can make something like Fight the Power, or It Takes the Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, or like you had EPMD. Like I miss that era where like you could still dance to hip hop and you could still have fun, but you could also kind of still be hardcore and like DOS Effects, EPMD. Like I miss that era of hip hop. And Kid and Play. Like that whole era is long gone and it's never coming back. And I hate to be the old man sitting on his lawn. My man said Pete Rock. I like Pete Rock. I never really loved Pete Rock as an MC. I like Pete Rock as a producer a lot more. I mean, I love that whole era when you had like Pete Rock, Large Professor, like those kind of cats. And I like CL Smooth, but he was never really like the best rapper to me, but like they work well together. So I kind of miss that. Of course, the God MC is Rakim. You can't take that from Rakim at all. Dark as Hell is Hot is a better album than me. I feel you on that. Yeah. I like this, man. I ain't talk hip hop like this in a minute, man. I ain't know that this many of y'all with hip hop heads, yo. That's what's up. Let's see. I have a top 5, but the God MC is Rakim. Word up. His first album, Tupacalypse, is my favorite. Yeah, that was a good era for hip hop, man. Back when it was Tupacalypse, and it was cool. And you could tell Pac was being a lot more of himself at that time. Like I still to this day don't think that that Death Row era was Pac. I don't think that was really him. I think he was doing what he had to do to fit in at the time. What's sad to me is like when you got artists that are finally coming into their own, and like I think Pac was finally finding himself again when he was doing the Don Illuminati album. I think that was Pac at his best. When he was trying to get away from that whole Death Row thing and he was trying to do something else. He was gonna be working with the Boot Camp Clique. He was gonna be working with Bone. And I think Pac was about to do something really good and they took him out. Same thing with XXX and Tentacion. That kid was gonna change hip hop. That kid was probably one of the most talented artists that was out there, man. That kid could do any style of hip hop that you could think of. And they killed him. They took him out. And same thing with Nipsey. Nipsey was my favorite, man. I was at a Warriors game in the Bay Area when I found out that Nip died, man. And Nip, it took me 2 years before I could listen to Victory Lap. That's how hurt I was when they killed Nipsey, man. And Nipsey was gonna change hip hop too. And I think that kid Pop Smoke, same thing. I think he was gonna change hip hop too. And they took him out, man. It's just kind of a sad thing, man, when you finally get these artists they're finding their voice and they finally kind of get their rhythm going, and then they don't ever get a chance to really change hip hop in the way that it was going. Those dudes are special, man. It's kind of heartbreaking, honestly. They won't allow. They want our kids dumb. Yeah, I know, man. I know, and that's kind of why like it's hard for me to get into hip hop right now. Like that's why I like Childish Gambino, man. I like J. Cole. I like what J. Cole is doing. I like Tyler the Creator because these dudes are like real artists, man. Even Kendrick, man. Like I didn't like the last Kendrick album, but Good Kid, Mad City is one of the greatest hip hop albums of all times. And I like Damn. A lot of people didn't like Damn, but it's smart and it's intelligent hip hop that you can get into. Roger said he up out of here, man. Wife giving me the dirtiest looks. Hey, tell the wife I said hello, man. And I feel you on that, man. Like, I get it. So be safe, man. Thanks for chilling with me for 2 hours, baby. The DOC. Yeah, dude, I heard about the DOC dropping this album, man. Like, look, check it. I'm terrified of this whole AI thing. I'm terrified of it. I think it's the creepiest fucking thing in the world. I don't like it. But I am happy that we get to hear the DOC again. DOC, there would be no NWA, there would be no Chronic, there would be no Doggy Style. DOC is probably one of the most important people in hip hop, and he made one of the greatest hip hop albums of all times. He had probably the best voice in hip hop ever, and I'm excited to hear what they're gonna do with that, man. Like I'm terrified of that whole thing, dude. I can't front, but I'm so happy for the DOC, man. I saw that. All right, Rogers, be safe, brother. Nip was great, man. Let's see. Intercourse said I just saw Cypress Hill and Slipknot last number. Incredible show. For me, man, a lot of people don't understand that there was a period where I really got into rock. Like I really got into like Audio Slave. I got into Pantera. And I got into Slipknot. I like that shit, man. That's some good fucking music. And it's funny that like how Wu-Tang and Cypress Hill can cross over and fit in with people who really like rock music. That's always been one of the most fascinating things in the world to me, man. To see how their sound can kind of cross over into different genres like that. I would have loved to have been at that show, straight up. Z said I haven't liked Eminem since 2002. But his evolution and ability to adapt can't be denied. He's on Mount Rushmore. And I like when you put Eminem in a freestyle where he can just rap and be comfortable, I still like him. But when he's making albums, like I can't feel his albums, man. It's just like sometimes I think Eminem is fighting with his own legacy. He gets in his own head, and sometimes he's rapping just to rap. And it doesn't even sound like it doesn't really have much meaning or purpose to his lyrics anymore. He's just rapping to show his skill set. That's when I have a hard time listening to him. But I understand exactly where you're coming from as far as legacy. Innocent said I rock with Benny and Conway heavy. What about what about Fly God, man? You don't rock with the Fly God? I don't really like Benny, and I get in trouble for that all the time. I don't like Benny the Butcher. And I'm mad that he took the name The Butcher, man, because that's a dope ass name, and I'm an actual butcher. But I fuck with Conway heavy. I fuck with Conway. I like Conway. Like I know people love Benny, man. I can't get into Benny though. That's just me. I can't get into him. I tried. What about the Beastie Boys? Here's the thing with me and the Beastie Boys. They are pure hip hop, and they got a lot of flack for being white boys in the industry at the time, but like when you go back to like License to Ill and all that kind of stuff, working with Ruben, they made classic hip hop, and they made great hip hop. And to this day, I still listen to the Beastie Boys. But I love the fact that they were able to really transition into musicians and just to make a lot of different style of music, and they were able to do like the alt rock, and they were able to do metal and make good music. I got nothing but love for the Beastie Boys, man. You will never hear me say anything bad about the Beastie Boys. I fuck with them heavy. Yeah, man, I know I get in trouble for not liking Benny, man, but 38 Special, I listen to 38, man, but it's just like, man, I just have a hard time like getting into hip hop now, man. Like y'all would laugh at me, man. Like I don't like most of the time if I'm listening to music right now, if I do actually play music, I'm listening to like 80s synth pop. I'm listening to a lot of jazz. And I listen to like a lot of the stuff that I used to listen to in the 80s and 90s, like old school hip hop and shit. And then like I might, put on some Tyler the Creator. I might put on like a lot of Erica Badu, um, Ari Lennox. You know what I'm saying? Scissor. Like I got a weird musical taste right now, man. As much as y'all can see, like I still know and understand hip hop, I just don't listen to it as much as I used to, man. Freeway was super dope too, man. The Freeway album, like what was it, first of the last, something like that. I can't remember the title of the album, man, but that was one of my favorites. I might listen to Radiohead. Um, it's just funny, man. Like I just got to the point, man, that hip hop changed so much for me, and I didn't want to be that old dude on the lawn. I'm Andre 3000, man. I'm just at a point right now that like I feel like I aged out of hip hop. You know, I still love Tribe, man. I still love Black Star. Like I still love like, you know, it's certain artists that. Here's the other thing, all my favorite artists either got killed or they got weird. Like Common, Mos Def, Andre 3000, D'Angelo, like all the people that I love, they just got weird, and it's hard for me to listen to them now. It's a strange thing, man. Like Scarface, I absolutely love Scarface. I don't know if y'all fuck with Scarface like that. Face Mob is my dude. So I mean, it's people that I still love, man, but it's just like it's very rare that I can just go and pick up a hip hop album now and just go sit, because most people don't make albums that you can listen to. Innocent. Whatever you got on October London, man, send it to me, because I don't know anything about that, man. So send it to me. Listen to Mona Lisa with Lil Wayne and Kendrick. Okay, I can fuck with that. He said, Z said, I don't like Kendrick Lamar's music, but the dude is unreal creative. Oh, all right. So out of the Kendrick Lamar albums, you got Good Kid, Mad City. You got To Pimp a Butterfly. Damn. And then the Steppers album, whatever that last album was that he created. I like 2 out of the 4. I don't like To Pimp a Butterfly. I know people love that album. I didn't like that shit. I didn't like Steppers. But Good Kid, Mad City, like I said, is one of the greatest hip hop albums ever. And Damn is a brilliant album. So I can kind of understand why you wouldn't really get with Kendrick like that, but Kendrick can rap his ass off. I like Tech N9ne, man, but like he's one of those rappers that's like, he's kind of like he's kind of like Killer Mike to me. Like I understand his skill set, I understand his talent, but I can't listen to his music. But I get why people like him. Yeah, Face Mob might be top 5, man, straight up. He really might be. It is hard, Jason. It is hard to get into the music that they're making nowadays, man. It's like there's certain people that I like. I like Lil Uzi. I like Lil Baby, but I can't see myself like listening to him long term. Lupe ain't I can't really consider him like a new school, but I love Lupe as a talent. I love Lupe. Lupe is like a skillful dude, man. He's just a skillful rapper. He's very talented. I like, he's not like one of my favorites, but I fuck with Lupe. So I'm not mad at that. I wish, I don't know, man. I don't know what's missing with Lupe. Something's missing, and I can't tell you what it is. Yeah, I can't believe I've been out here chopping it up with y'all for 2 hours, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, man, but like with the new music now, man, like I understand what these kids are doing. They've understood how to make melodies. Like everything that the kids are doing now is based off Future, Migos, and XXXTentacion. Like all of their stuff is like, that's what their whole sound. And what's the other little dude that came from Lil Wayne? God, he in court right now, or he went to jail. I can't think of the kid's name. I can't think of what his name is. But everything is based off melody. And I get what they're doing, but I just can't get with the whole mumble style. Like, you know, and I hate to be the old dude calling it mumble rap. Like, I try to avoid that. But everything that they're doing now is just more based off melody. Young Thug, exactly. That's exactly who I was talking about, B. And those guys are the blueprint for what cats are doing right now. And I just can't, like, I understand it. I understand certain songs can come on and I can vibe to it. And, you know, when I'm with my kids, I can vibe with it. Fuck 69, yo. I don't even want to go that route. But yeah, I was talking about Young Thug. But Yeah, yeah. But so I understand it. It's just not for me. He said Lupe is like a lot of the East Coast dudes that got crap production. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah, yeah. And that was Nas's flaw for a long time too. So that kind of makes sense. That's a good point. Intercourse said I got here late. What are you smoking? I had the year 22 uh, Stillwell Star, and it was so plugged that I couldn't smoke it, so I put that down. And this right here that I'm smoking right now is a Mil Diaz, and it was the Edmundo. I mean, a good cigar. Sorry for spitting on camera, man. I hate doing that shit. Yeah, I can't do that screaming ass 69, yo. I can't get in that little motherfucker, man. I had to edit what I was about to say. I was about to talk some shit, but I'm gonna chill. Does Future have photos on rappers? Dude is the worst. Here's the thing about Future, man. Future is Dungeon Family. He is a part of that whole crew. I think he's cousins with one of the dudes out of Organized Noise. Future understands music. Future is a very talented motherfucker. But I just can't get with the fact that like you can't understand shit that he's saying. And I know he knows how to make music. And a lot of people from Drake to Lil Wayne to the Migos, everybody took something from Future, and they just took it and ran with it. So maybe he does got some photos on people, maybe something like that. But I respect what he is. Do I go out and buy Future albums? Could I tell you some of his songs off the top of the head? Nah. But you wouldn't have had that Panda song without Future. You wouldn't have had Bobby Shmurda. You wouldn't have had Young and May. Like it's so many people that Future has influenced, man. So like being a member of the Dungeon Family, man, you got to give him his props. Yeah, yeah. You can't go wrong with Crown Heads, man. You can't go wrong with Mil Diaz, man. So I wish it had a better draw, but this time around, but it's still a good cigar. He said Foxy Brown ain't better than Latifah. Here's my thing, man. I got mad love for Queen Latifah. I got mad love for Latifah, man. 45 King, that whole era. Naughty by Nature. Shouts out to Jers. But when I found out Latifah won't write in her rhymes, man, it broke my heart. It hurt me. That hurt. So I don't know, man. I think Young and May right now and Lauryn Hill might be the best for me. When you're just talking about just like skill for skill, rhyme for rhyme, ain't none of them touching Lauryn. Even with all your logic and your theory, I add a motherfucker so you ignorant hear me. Like Lauryn can rap like circles around most MCs. Ain't nobody gonna touch Lauryn. I love Foxy too, but Jay-Z wrote a lot of Foxy stuff. And it's another dude that was on damn, I can't remember what his name was, but he was on Math Hoffa show, and he was talking about how he wrote Foxy lyrics too. Foxy was talented, but I would take Roxanne Shante over them. You know what I mean? I could go down that rabbit hole. They say, do you know about Daylight? Yeah, I know Daylight, King Los. I'm not really into the battle rap scene. I know a lot of them. I know like Math Hopper, I know Calico and all the, like, I understand it. But battle rap to me, y'all might not know this, but I used to be a spoken word poet. I used to be an MC too. And battle rap to me turned into spoken word poetry. They took the beats away, and everybody like they pause and they start talking, and they're not rapping no more, man. And like it became like poetry to me, and it just I can't really get into battle rap. Now when Daylight gets on like Hot 97 and he freestyling and you give him a beat, I fuck with Daylight. Daylight nice. He's super nice. I love MC Light and Paper Thin too, but Todd One was writing a lot of her lyrics too. LL wrote her verse on the Stop the Violence joint. So when I found out like some of my favorites, they weren't writing their own rhymes, man, it kind of hurt me, man. Like when you get into like top MCs of all times, and you get into like who's some of the greatest and all that kind of stuff. Kanye was one of my favorite artists of all time. I love Kanye. Kanye didn't write his own lyrics too. Like Sci-Hi was writing some of his shit, you know, and I can't remember the other. It's not wordplay. Rhyme Fest. Rhyme Fest was writing a lot of his rhymes and shit. Like I can't make you. Wyclef ain't write that line, man. Stop that. Wyclef ain't never wrote anything like that in his life. But when it comes to like some of my favorites, I can't get into like people with like if you're not writing your own lyrics. Like me and my cousin, we go back and forth all day about Drake. Drake is his favorite MC. I can't give Drake all those props because Drake don't write. You know what I'm saying? I love LL, but I don't even think LL wrote all of his lyrics. And if you listen to LL from, you know, back when he was doing, you know, the I'm Bad and My Radio era compared to some of the stuff that he was doing later, I don't think LL wrote his lyrics. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But once you get to the point where you're not writing your own lyrics as an MC, I can't give you like some super high status. I can't do it. It just takes away from it for me. And I'm a stickler for that. I can't front. Hey, shouts out to you, CK, man. It's not just me, man. I love having this conversation with y'all, man. Just talking hip hop, man. Like this, I was a b-boy, yo. I did the graffiti. I used to break. I was my first album that wasn't Michael Jackson Thriller was Ricky D. My battery's about to die, man. I got a couple more seconds to rock with y'all. My first album was The Show with Ricky D and Dougie Fresh. And I had a Play School record player that I used to play that joint every day. And the B-side of that was Lottie Dottie. That was my first album. That's how long I've been listening to hip hop, man. And I'm not saying that to be like some old dude that's like bragging about hip hop or whatever. But like I'm just literally saying that to go back. That's how long I've been listening to hip hop. Like, and I was a kid. When I went to school, I had a backpack that was full of food and just hip hop albums. I was original backpacker. Like I had albums, I had tapes, I had mixtapes from, you know, K-Slay to Clue, like all of that shit. DJ Drama, like I had all of that shit. Tony Touch. I was that dude. Like I was known for the kid that used to walk through school and rap all day. Like that was my thing, man. So I love this shit, yo. Hit you with 3 jazz artists to try. Let me do that. All right, yeah. Shouts out to Grandmaster Flash too. 3 jazz albums to try. The first album that you gotta get is Miles Davis, Kinda Blue. The second one you gotta get is The Messenger, Art Blakey. The third one that you gotta get is The Awakening by Ahmad Jamal. I swear, you listen to those 3 albums, you'll become a jazz fan. Just take my word on it. And if you want a couple more, just hit me up in my inbox on the Vintage Cigar on Instagram, and I will give you some more bangers. Miles is absolutely a certified genius. Certified. The Birth of a Cool, and damn, what's the Spain joint that I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. Charlie Mingus. I was gonna give you a Charlie Mingus album too, and I can see the album cover in my mind right now. It's a white cover, and it's a picture of Charlie Mingus up close. I got the album at the crib, but I can't think of the name of the album right now. But that's one of my all-time favorite jazz albums. Charlie Mingus is that dude. But I'll give you that one. I gotta look it up to get the name of it. But those albums, like from Art Blakey to the Miles Davis joint to Ahmad Jamal, I can do those off the top of my head. They're crazy. Anything that you want, McCoy Tyner, and Bill Evans. Grab any one of their albums. I swear it'll change your life. If you're not into jazz, I put money you'll be into those. Matter of fact, I got a jazz concert to go to tonight. I'm glad this came up because I would have forgotten about that. Yeah, man. I like you can't have the hip hop that we know without jazz. If you into a Tribe Called Quest, if you ever listen to Stetsasonic, all of that was based on jazz. So like a lot of our greatest hip hop eras, especially in the 90s, they were just digging in their jazz crates and making their beats out of that. And you'll go through all of your jazz stuff and you'll be like, oh, I know this. Pete Rock, everything that Pete Rock did, he was pulling from jazz. Like all of your favorite producers, Large Professor, everybody, all of them dudes borrowed from jazz. Rakim, he was a saxophonist. He loves jazz music, and the way he used to write his bars was based on how he would use his jazz melodies and finding his jazz chords. There is no hip hop without jazz. There is jazz in Japan. Like when you go to any of the cigar lounges that are out here, they're either playing old school rock and roll, and I'm talking about like Little Richard and Ray Charles, that kind of rock and roll. And they play that in jazz all the time. Matter of fact, the lounge that I just went to the other day had some dope ass jazz in there, man. They get busy in there. And then a friend of mine back in Virginia, she's a Japanese. She was born here in, close to where I am now, and she's native Japanese. Her friend is doing a jazz concert tonight, and they asked me to go out to do that. So I'm gonna go check them out tonight. That's what I'm doing once my wife get in. So I'm gonna go check out some jazz, man. And they love music out here. They love hip hop out here in Japan, and they love jazz. And it's funny, like there's an area in Yokohama where they dress up as greasers and they sit out there and dance to rock and roll. They love music out here, man. There's some really talented musicians out here in Japan, yo. Yeah. And it costs you know it. See? Yeah, they love music out here, man. So it's some really cool stuff out here. Like it's places that I can go where I can just go and just sit in there and they might be playing they might play rock. And the other thing that they love, I'm a reggae head. I love reggae and dance hall. Every summer they have like in Yokohama, no, in Hayama, they have this beach out there where they do like a reggae fest. And they play nothing but like U-Roy, Bob Marley, Junior Mervin. Like they play like real reggae music and they get busy. Like, and they love reggae out here, yo. They love reggae. There's some music culture out here in Japan, man. A lot of people, like, once you get into like Osaka, Yokohama, Fukuoka, Tokyo, you can find some real music heads and some talented musicians out here, man. Matter of fact, y'all, before I get out of here, I'm about to bounce, man, before this phone dies. There's a girl called Awich, A-W-I-C-H. She's from Okinawa. First of all, she's gorgeous. Second of all, she's probably one of the most talented artists that I've ever heard. She can do pop. She can rap her ass off. She do drill music. She can she does like R&B and soul, and she kills every single genre that she does. Awich. Matter of fact, on my While I'm in Japan page, I got a reaction video to her and a dude named Mayachi that's from New York. He's half Japanese, speaks fluent Japanese, and I got a reaction to both of their videos. Go check that shit out, man. It's some dope ass shit. The Japanese Philharmonic Orchestra is world class. Matter of fact, my homegirl that I was talking about, she's associated with them. Word up. Any go-go vibes out there? I haven't. Yes. If you go on Instagram, there's a Japanese go-go band, and they get busy. Yo, it's some culture out here, man. That's why I'm happy here in Japan, man. It's some cool ass shit out here, man. It's some cool ass motherfuckers, especially when you go into Tokyo and Osaka. The motherfuckers know music, man, and they know fashion. Barrington Levy, word up. Dennis Brown might be one of my favorites. Ani Kamosi. Yo, if you get a chance, Ani Kamosi did a remix album of all of his classic stuff, man. It's called Debut. That shit, Ani Kamosi is slept on, yo. Cause everybody know Ani Kamosi for Here Comes the Hot Stepper. Nah, he was just doing that to get in with, when Mad Lion and everybody, when hip hop and dance hall was kind of fusing together. He just did that to make money. Ani Kamosi is sick. That's a bad motherfucker, yo. If you ever get the chance, if you haven't heard that joint, go check that out, man. Yeah, yeah, y'all know y'all reggae too, man. That's what's up. Anyway, man, yo, I had fun tonight, man. I had fun with y'all, man. I gotta go, man. This cigar's out, and I got this whack ass lighter. Oh, he got debut. Word up. That's what's up. World of reggae music culture. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I fuck with Iron heavy, man. I'm glad to hear that, man. Cause matter of fact, I need to play some more reggae. But I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Thank y'all for hitting that like button, man. Thank y'all for chilling with the boy. I always appreciate y'all, man. Y'all mean a lot to me. I'll be doing another live soon. And Innocent, holla at your boy, man, because we got to get up, man. We got to link. So we're going to do this soon, man. Mad respect to y'all. I hope y'all ate well. I hope everybody's family is good. Continue to smoke your best cigars, man. Peace to y'all. I'm going to catch y'all on the next go round. Be easy. This shit gonna die before I can even shut it down.